Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank you so much for pulling up. Hopefully, you click the like button as well. I'm going to wait for a few people to get up in here before we move forward. I just want to say what's up to everyone. Renee Suzanne, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate it. She said that she has a couple of doctor's appointments, and she got to do it in 100-degree weather. You know what I mean? And I hope you have some successful doctor's appointments. Happy belated Father's Day to everyone, all of the men out there. Hey, Lisa Marie, what's up, Tony B? Anybody that's trying to reach out to me at the van.hall, lfrfamily.com email, please wait a little bit on that. That bad boy has been shut down for a minute. Trying to fix some things with that. But I do appreciate people reaching out to me all this weekend. Y'all are absolutely dope, man. With the Father's Day wishes. Happy Father's Day to all of you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Shout out to Sweden. I got friends in Sweden. Hey, Angel. Hey, Angel. I got Angel Shay Brown. Shay Brown, Lisa Marie, Angel. They always pull up when I am up. I appreciate that, guys. All right, so we got a couple of things that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna wait until y'all get up in here first. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you're feeling extremely generous, consider sharing this live stream on any of your other platforms that you're on, be it Facebook, be it X. But happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there, all of the amazing fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all of the uncles out there who filled in the gap for those who didn't have a dad in their life. Happy Father's Day to the brothers, the big brothers who filled in the gap. You know what I mean? All of the men who decided to be selfless with their acts of kindness and with their time for other people's children. Thank you so much. I thank you. I thank you for for them children, man. So thank you, guys. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. That would be absolutely dope. Make U-turns great again. What the world is here? What why you say make U-turns great again? What is it about U-turns? Huh? What is it about U-turns? Denise V, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the 89% of you guys said that the next election in November will probably not go as you would like for it to go because the left be cheating. But I need for y'all to be optimistic about this thing, man. For real. The gays are removing U-turn signs in California. Okay. I actually seen that. I seen a small video about that on IG. I was about to respond to it, do a quick little short on it, reaction to the short. But then I said, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let those people go ahead and do what they do. I mean, because everybody got their reason for doing whatever they want to do and bringing attention to them. And you know what? Hey, it's not my fight. I ain't got no dog in that fight. So yeah, I'm just leaving that alone. Lisa Marie, I saw that. What's going on, Big Blue? What's up, Vander? How you doing, big dog? You are killing it on your channel, man. Continue to go, man. Continue to move. Before we move forward, I want to say anyone who's looking to start a YouTube channel, start one today. Start a YouTube channel today. All right. And if you don't know what to do, react to other people's stuff. Okay. React to other people's stuff. I've been having a lot of debates with people about politics, about whether Donald Trump or Biden is best for the country, whether the Democrats or the Republicans are best for the country. You know what? I'm like this. Right now, I believe that I will be voting for Trump. All right. And I'm just gonna say that. All right. I believe at this point right now, I will be voting for Trump, but only because I don't fool with Biden like that. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't. And also, what the Democrats have been doing for the Black community has not been working lately. If you just go and look in any of the neighborhoods, any of the communities, you will see that a lot of their policies have been completely effing up the blue cities and just allowing them to stay on the same course that they're on. And when you're just looking at things from a common sense viewpoint, it's it's like, okay, if that's not working for us, then how about trying this? That's it. It's that simple. And then you want to, compare apples to apples too, where you say, well, how did Trump do when he was in office? Okay. How is Biden doing while he's in office? Okay. Is this dude running the country, or is someone else running the country for him? Um, I don't know if y'all saw Biden and all of the Democrats and President Barack Obama and all those guys was there at some event in Hollywood, and George Clooney and those guys, and they came together and they raised $30 million for Biden, for the left, and for Biden's administration, for the campaign. And then when Biden was out on the stage, man, Obama came out there and saw that Biden was stuck, didn't know what to do. So he grabbed him by his hand. He said, "Come on, Papa. Come on. We going this way. Say bye-bye to the people. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, people. Come on, we're going this way now. We're done." And you know what? I hate to make fun of anybody who is older and dealing with mental issues. They're losing their mind, dementia, whatever the case may be. But if you're in that state, you are not in a state of running a country. You're not. What's going to happen? Is Barack going to save him, or is Barack going to come and grab his hand and tell him how to negotiate with other world leaders? Is he going to do that when it's just him and Putin in the room, one-on-one, mano a mano? What is Obama or anybody else going to do to come to Biden's aid in those times? We need to stop looking at, well, the Pope don't look like he's that sharp either. Well, he's not the Pope. Biden is not the Pope. So at the end of the day, guys, what are we going to do, man? I want for our president to be strong. I want for our president to be sharp. I want for our president to strike fear in the hearts of other world leaders. Why? Because if they ever think about getting froggy and leaping, then they know that we're going to spank that ass. But we already know how our guy looks, and he do not look like a strong leader. I don't care how much you rock with the Democrats. I don't care how much you hate Trump. If you look at Biden for who he is as a man, he is not a strong leader. If our children was outside, if we have a 5-year-old outside and they're playing, who would we like for them? Who would we like to watch them while we run in the house to go get something to drink? Biden or Trump? Who would we like to watch them? Not somebody who can jump up and help them real quick, but who can pay attention to them, guide them, lead them while they're out there by themselves. Biden can't do that. It's unfortunate that that's where he is mentally right now, but that's just the case. You cannot reverse that. And if he's like this right now in June, how's he going to be in November? In the beginning of another term, he's already like falling apart at the end of his first term. Are we really going to award him another term? Come on, bro. Girl, are we really that foolish? We cannot be that foolish. So please let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for pulling up, guys. Now, we know for a fact now that Trump went to go visit a church in Detroit, Michigan, and he's doing his stunt thing. He's sitting in front of people, and he's speaking to them about what he can do for the country and all these other things. I don't know if you all seen it, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it. But I believe that it was in a church that they had this set down, and I'm gonna let you know right now. Much love to you all. I'm gonna let you know this right now. Liberal channels did not like this at all. They said that he was pandering. They said that he couldn't read. I don't know if y'all watched the Midas Touch, but the Midas Touch was clowning that dude, man. They was clowning Trump because they call it a Trump speech fail. They call it a fail. So I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of that as well, because that's what it's all about. But before we move forward, I want to say shout out to the Cartier family. The Cartier family, let me tell you something, yeah. Y'all young men are cooking. Y'all young men are doing your thing. Y'all young men have come a long way. I'm so very proud of y'all. I don't know y'all. I never met these young men. Um, I just I just watched them the same way you guys watched them. I watched them grow on YouTube, and they are doing an amazing job. So shout out to the Cartier family, who pulled up, and they was asked some questions about why Joe Biden isn't fit to be president. I want to show y'all this right now if you haven't seen it, because them guys are dope, man. So let me go and pull this up. If you have not liked this video already, this live stream already, please do so. That would be absolutely dope. I appreciate it. I'm thanking you in advance already, because you know the likes, they actually matter. Yeah, this right here. Shout out to the Cartier family. People have been sending me videos and pictures of them all weekend, man. All weekend, showing love to the Cartier family. I know whoever raised them young men, they did an amazing job. Happy Father's Day to whoever raised these young guys. Check this out right here.
Who do you think is a worse leader, Justin Trudeau or Joe Biden?
Joe, he gonna fall asleep on us like always.
Yeah, falling asleep's the worst thing you could do, definitely.
Yeah, it's got to be Joe Biden. I don't even think he's running the show. I think he's just a puppet. He can't even form a sentence.
Justin Trudeau, though, we don't even have any guns up there.
Oh, he's trying to disarm the people up there. They got bigger fish to fry up there, but we got to get this old man up out of our house.
Well, we're headed in the direction of Justin Trudeau. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but what they're trying to do, well, what they're doing to to Hunter Biden, as far as trying to lock him down off of signing that form when purchasing a weapon. That right there is, well, first of all, this is how Hollywood teaches the left to do. Go ahead and sacrifice your young for the better good. The greater good is that he will come closer to winning the presidency. But it's not about Hunter, because Hunter will be pardoned. Okay, everything on Hunter's record will be pardoned. He won't have to pay for any of those crimes. We already know that. But on top of that, if it starts with Hunter Biden and he gets 34 counts for brandishing a weapon while using drugs and those type of things, trust me, that would just be the beginning of going down the pipeline of grabbing everybody's guns. Because Justin Trudeau, although I do not agree with that dude, it seems like the left are trying to take some of their ways of governing, and I don't agree with it at all. So what they're doing in Canada is what Joe Biden looks to do here in the United States. Now, you can call it a controversy or controversial or whatever you want to call it, but that's how I look at it. I'm not jumping up on my chair and celebrating what's going on with Hunter right now. As a matter of fact, they took the lesser of paths to punish Hunter, in my opinion. All right. They took the path that they can negatively impact the majority of Americans if this actually goes through. And they don't believe that we're smart enough to figure this out, but we are on top of it, man.
Well, at least he ain't falling asleep. That's my problem in the press conference. Just
Joe has to be the worst. He has to be.
What do you think?
About Joe Biden, who's the worst leader?
Justin Trudeau or Joe Biden? Which one's worse?
Man, it gotta be Joe, because he got the most power. He's the president. And then I feel like a lot of stuff we did with like leaving all the military stuff in, the Middle East and all that. And then he'll sit and try to like paint Trump or other people out as a bad guy when he's turning around and doing stuff that's just as bad. I think that's very hypocritical. I think that's bad for America. And the fact that 70% of America said that he needs to be drug tested before a debate shows that, like, how could y'all vote for a man that you think can't even go debate sober? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
yeah.
Well, he can't even form a sentence. He can't stand up by himself without aid. Once he's standing up, like if everybody's looking left, he's looking right. It's a lot going on with this man. And again, I have nothing but love for senior citizens who go through senior citizen things. You know what I mean? People who are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's, those type of things. I do not make fun of them, but you do not belong. You do not deserve to be no world leader. You do not deserve to be no president if you're dealing with those type of things. That's a disqualifier. If you cannot, if you will fail at even making the military because of these type of things, you're not going to make the military if you're suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. You're not. But you mean to tell me that you're going to be over the entire military if you can't even think for yourself, if you don't know where to move, you don't know when to sit down, you don't know what to read and what not to read aloud? Like it's so many things to this. It's crazy. All right, let's go back to our young guys over there.
I just think like if you allow the border to be open and you want to take away the gun, I feel like that's just the worst you can do, really.
Men's and women's sports.
It's a bunch of stuff that just is not safe to me.
Yeah.
So,
You think he's going to get out of office in November? Think Trump's going to take over?
I don't see how he wins.
Lord's willing.
Unless they pull another trick like the last one. Unless they got another trick up their
It's
sleeve.
got to be too big to rig.
It's over with. They're not winning. There's no way. There's no way.
Well, the poll that I've taken inside of my live stream, I'm live right now. Shout out to everyone who's live with me. I appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Y'all are absolutely dope. And share this bad boy on Facebook and X or LinkedIn, wherever, Reddit. But the poll that I've asked is, do y'all think that that this upcoming election in November will be fair? And 10% of them say yes. And 90% of them said, nah, the left be cheating. That's what they said. I'm just reading y'all what they said in the poll. And so far, 273 people have answered the poll. So thank y'all so much. But 90% of the people over here in my live stream believe that it's not going to be a fair shake. It's not going to be a fair shake because the left be a cheating.
In my opinion.
Think there's a way?
I talked to someone earlier and they said it's a way.
Really?
It's possible.
Not a legal way.
Yeah, not a
A
legal
lot
way.
of states are putting in new legislation to legitimize voting, like no illegal voting, got to have IDs, all these things in place. So I think states are waking up to the bullshit too. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
We'll leave it out.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you think California
It's bull sugar honey iced tea, brother. Young brother, it's bull sugar honey iced tea. Nah, man, you get a pass for the passion and for this and for being truthful, man. And shout out to everybody who has said that they like this shirt I got on. This shirt was sent to me by one of my clients who is inside of my YouTube coaching group. Shout out to Jeff, man. I appreciate you, brother. I really do.
is going to require ID? Do you see that happening?
That's a great question. I think they're going to try to find a way around it. They're going to try to fight tooth and nail. Oh, it's racist. Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, we're not going for it. People know what's up.
Do you think black people know how to get IDs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every black person I know has an ID. And if they knew that people thought they were too dumb to get IDs, they would be offended. Yeah.
It's a little bit racist to say black people don't know how to get
Absolutely
IDs.
insane.
You're completely dumb if you don't know how to get an ID in today's society.
It goes to show how low people think of black people if they think that black people can't get IDs or don't know how to get an ID.
Bigotry of low expectations, right? Yeah.
Yeah, anybody who says that black people cannot get IDs, they can't get driver's licenses, they can't get the proper identification so that they can vote. You need to look at them sideways and wonder why they're saying that. Wonder why they believe that you are so unintelligent, that you are not resourceful, that you don't care enough about your country, that you will go out there and do the necessary things and be readily available to vote yourself. So at the end of the day, man, it is racist. It is it's disrespectful. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen it already, but the gentleman named Ami Horowitz, he went around New York and he was asking liberals, and he was asking white liberals, and he was asking black liberals whether or not it was difficult to get ID so that they can go and vote. And the white liberals was saying, yeah, I don't know how they're going to get it. They're having a hard time. They don't have transportation. They don't have the funds to do it. They don't know where the DMV is. They don't know where the MVA is, Department of Motor Vehicles, Motor Vehicle Administration. So we use both terms in the in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And they were just being hella disrespectful with Ami Horowitz. And then they got into the black community in New York, and they was asking black people, are y'all able to, do you have a driver's license or ID just in case it's time to vote or something? And if you don't, do you know where the Motor Vehicles Administration is so you can go get one? And then black people was like, what are you talking about? Yes, I got an ID. I don't know anybody who don't have an ID. And yes, I know where the DMV is. So why people even think that is just ridiculous. You should take offense to that. Anybody asks me that, you'd be lucky if I don't slap you in your mouth. I ain't slapping nobody. I'm 46 years old, man. My reflexes is not what they used to be, bro. At all. At all. And a matter of fact, I don't know if anybody out there understand this too, but it actually hurts to hit somebody. Like, it's a face is made up of bones, bro. A whole lot of bones. And you can break your hand if you hit somebody wrong. So I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of people who fake like they're about their life. They're not really. They don't know what the hell they talking about most times. Shout out to the Cartier family for doing the daggone thing, man. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. Young brothers, thank y'all for doing what you do. Keep up the great work. Y'all are dope. Y'all are dope. Y'all are dope. And we're about to check out what's going on now. Roland Martin had a lot to say about Trump. And we're going to move into Trump at the Black church, but I really want to show this because Roland Martin does not like Trump, and he goes out of his way every single day to poop on Trump, bro. Him, Midas Touch, Dave Packman. Yeah, I see all of y'all, man. I'm gonna start showing all of y'all videos on the joint. Hopefully y'all don't get me in trouble or snitch to the authorities for me showing y'all stuff. Hey, thank you so much, Big Blue. I appreciate you, brother. He said, I think many Christian black will go for Trump now. We will see. We will see, man, because just I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that's going on nowadays, man. And it's like they're ganging up right now. They're starting to gang up. They're starting to see how they can stop Trump. They're not trying to see how they can better the community. They're trying to see how they can come together to stop Trump, not come together to make Biden's administration work better than it's been working for the last 3.25 years, 3.75 years that he's been in office. But at the end of the day, we know what's up. We know what's up. Watch out for the next catastrophe. Shout out to Big Blue. Watch out for the next catastrophe. All right? Because every 4 years, it seems like it's something to take our minds away from what's important and focus on that catastrophe. Because that catastrophe is always created by the people at the top. Think about it. It's always created by the people at the top so that we can look over there while they do whatever they want to do over here. So pay attention to that, guys. It's just, I don't trust them. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I don't trust them. And yeah. So let's go ahead into this joint right here. Hold on one second. All right. Shout out to Byron Donalds, too, who's at the joint, man. All right, here we go. All right.
Who's lost, and he's in Europe, he's walking around, he doesn't know where the hell he is, and he's supposed to help Detroit. I don't think so. But we achieved the lowest African-American unemployment rate and the lowest African-American poverty rate ever recorded during my 4 years. We lifted 6.6 million people out of poverty. Black Americans saw their largest increase in home ownership on record. There's never been anything like it. This is during our period of time. We gave record funding to historically black colleges and universities. You all know that, and got great support. And I will just tell you a quick story. The heads of the colleges would come to Washington once every year, and after 2 years, I said, why do you guys keep coming? And I liked them. I liked a couple of them, really, they're friends of mine, but the whole group was very, they were just terrific people, men and women heading up the colleges. And I said, why do you keep coming? Because they won't give us long-term financing. We have to come back every year. One said, and I say respectfully, he said, they make us feel like a bunch of beggars. We have to come back to Washington every year. I said, well, we're going to take care of that. And I got them actually more money than they asked for by far, and we got them long-term financing. And I said, the only thing sad is that I'll never see you again, probably. I will never meet you again. because we got used to meeting. I kept saying, and then after a couple of years, I said, why do you have to keep coming back? I mean, he said, we've been doing this for a long time, for 20 years, I guess. The one gentleman said he was here 20 years. He's been doing it for 20 years. I said, that's not right. And they do a very important job and a great job. And so I got you long-term financing, and I think all of them are voting for Trump. I don't know. I can't say maybe, but I'd say 99% of them. And if they aren't, I don't know what the hell the other side did, but we'll start an investigation or something, okay? We passed historic criminal justice reform, something that they've been after, people have been after for mostly the black community for years and years. And to get it done, they needed me. And as you know, President Obama tried. Biden doesn't even try. Well, he doesn't have to because we got it done, but we're going to get it improved. But President Obama tried, was unable to get it done. You needed conservative votes, and I got conservative votes, and we got criminal justice reform done. Nobody else could have done that. And we're very proud of it. When I left office, we had no inflation. Gasoline was less than $2. The 30-year mortgage was at 2.6%. The border was secure. Wages were rising, and the jobs were the best in the history of our country for African American, for black Americans. The jobs were the best in the history of our country. Other than that, what did I do? Not that much. Not that much. Now watch, the press will put that on. I didn't do that much because they're bad people. You know, they're bad. That's why they're the fake news. You have the same problem that I do. They're fake news. So Biden, on the other hand, Biden wrote the devastating 1994 crime bill, talking about super predators. That was Biden. You know, he walks around now talking about the black vote. He's the king of the super predators. And he wrote the 1994 crime bill that you talk about so much. I guess everybody here knows about that, especially if you happen to be black. And he was the one with the super predators. So just please remember that when you think you're going to vote Democrat, because you shouldn't vote Democrat. Biden's inflation. Thank you. That's a big deal, too, because, you know, he tries to pretend like, oh, you know, nothing happened, nothing happened. He was the one. Biden's inflation has cost a typical American family $28,000. Millions of illegal aliens are pouring in, and they're taking your jobs. The black community is being hurt more by the illegal aliens, 16, 17 million. They're taking your jobs. You're down 6-7% from where you were just 3 years ago with me. And it's going much lower because millions and millions of people are coming into your communities. It's no longer every state is a border state. You've heard that. But they're coming into your community and they're taking your job. They're affecting the African Americans, and then after that, the Hispanic Americans more than any other group. And they're also affecting unions because unions are starting to lose their grip because of it. They've never seen it. We're being inundated. Think of it. Millions of people are coming in from prisons, from mental institutions. They're terrorists at levels that we have never seen before. And in 2019, we had a survey done. How many terrorists were coming in? That was a Trump year, 2019. They said none. Now, I don't even believe that. I think that's too good. I wish the fake news wasn't fake then, but it was done by Border Patrol, etc. And they said no terrorists came in 2019. I can't believe that. But as soon as they took over, they have thousands of terrorists coming into our country. And we're all going to be hearing about that. We have to get them out. One of the first things we're doing is we're getting them out, right?
Well, actually, what's happening right now, they're not taking responsibility for that. The left is not taking responsibility for it because they're saying that that Congress has been holding them up to do anything. They're saying that Republicans have been blocking them, and their hands have been tied, and that President Biden has been trying to write legislation to fix this whole issue, allegedly, but Republicans have been blocking it. This is always the case. They play the blame game to act as if we're trying to do our jobs, we're doing everything we possibly can, but it's those monsters over there on the right that's stopping us from doing anything. So we need to watch out for that because this blame game is serious. nobody's taking accountability for their parts, and we need to hold them accountable. Hey, shout out to Miss Thang. I love your YouTube name, by the way, Miss Thang. She says Steve Bannon is a 70-year-old veteran going to prison for 2 years on a misdemeanor. That whole thing is messed up. I heard about Steve Bannon going to prison, man, and I believe it is happening like the first week of July or something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on with Steve Bannon. I do know that his name is one of those names that when used or talked about a whole lot on certain platforms, probably this one as well. Probably Twitch and probably YouTube. Shout out to everyone on Twitch and on YouTube watching me right now. But you can get in a little bit of trouble. I don't know why, but it just is what it is. Miss Thing, thank you so much for your super chat and for your contribution. I appreciate it.
They're coming in at levels never seen before. I say that by the time we get him out, and again, he's the worst president in the history of our country. And you know what? He's been the worst president for black people. He's been the worst president for Hispanic people. There's never been anybody so bad. And remember what I said about the crime bill. Under Biden, real wages for African-American workers are down 6%. That's the biggest decrease ever in a short period of time. You're down 6% since he took over. 100% of the net jobs created under Biden have gone to the illegals. Did you know that? 100% of the jobs created have gone to illegals. And then you're supposed to vote for this guy, and he doesn't know the difference. You're not talking about him. You're talking about people that control him. Fascists, communists, people that want to see our country destroyed. So I'm going to quickly rebuild the greatest economy in history. We had the greatest economy in history. We're going to stop inflation.
I have a question for y'all. How come I never see black people or white people standing outside of Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart ready to do work for people for whatever they give you? Because, and I'm asking you this because obviously you're going to see illegals out there. They don't have a job to go to, so they're going to go wherever the work is. Well, there's a whole bunch of white people and a whole bunch of black people and other nationalities here in the United States who don't have jobs either. How come you all aren't standing outside of Home Depot ready to help somebody? How come you all aren't standing outside of Lowe's ready to help somebody? I really want to understand that. Have we become so complacent? Have we become so entitled? Are we just too good to get out there and ask somebody if they need help? I'm going to help you fix whatever you're helping. Or do you believe that other Americans will look past you and not trust you, thinking that you might cause them some harm, so they just automatically go to foreigners and whatnot? And I'm saying this, I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm dead serious, man, because I've had this conversation with other people, and I don't see black people, nor do I see white people standing outside of Home Depot waiting for people to need work done and them being ready to offer our services. I mean, I'm just saying, because they're these immigrants, bro. These illegal immigrants, they be standing outside of that bad boy and they be waiting. Like, listen, they can't even speak the language yet, but they like, I help you. You need help? I help you. And, you know, they learn the proper words to get the job. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. You know what I mean? Drive around and looking for grass to cut and all this other stuff. It's just so much out there for us to do and just start our own little hustle and get it done. But it seems like we are very spoiled and entitled sometimes. So when the illegals come here, when the migrants come here, illegal immigrants come here, and they start taking the jobs that you won't take, you are partially to blame for that, because you're not willing to work for the peanuts. And why would you work for peanuts? You still got to pay your bills. You still got to make a living, and it's too expensive to live. Listen, live below your means. How about that? How about consider living below your means? Oh, nah, not as Americans. We know not going to live below our means. Everybody else is living above their means. Why should I have to live below mine? Because everyone else is not paying your bills. You're paying your bills. Everyone else is not responsible for feeding your family. You're responsible for feeding your family. Because the thing we want to do is wait for somebody to help us, give us a handout. Here's the thing: nobody's coming to save you. I go through my own stuff all the time, and I realize that nobody's coming to save me. I'm not going to sit here and wait for somebody to reach out to me with $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 to square away all of my debt or take care of my bills and catch me up or any of that. I got to get out there and I got to hustle. And I find it kind of funny too. I live in a Black community with and I say Black community because it's 90. I very rarely see any white people in my neighborhood, but it's a nice neighborhood. And almost all of us have Hispanics coming to clean our house at least once to twice a month. At least almost all of us have Hispanics coming to cut our lawn and take care of our grass and everything twice. To some people do it once a week, but we do it twice a month, like every other week. So it's so much stuff out there that we decide not to do, that we're just saying, you know what, I'll let them go do it. Why is that? Is it because it looks a certain type of way? Is it because that's just not the style of work that you want to do? Because not only are people making a living doing these hustles, but they are bringing their families back. They're financing their families to come over here, and they're doing the same thing, wash, rinse, repeat. And then they're purchasing property. They're all living together in their property, but we don't want to do that either. So we're always looking at these other nationalities thinking that they're wrong. They're not wrong for wanting to come into the best country in the world. Like, think about it. We are literally the greatest country in the world. Who don't want to be here? In biblical days, the United States will be considered, well, I mean, it would be considered the land of milk and honey, but it's turned into Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what it's turned into. But hey, listen, I don't want to change the conversation to nothing. I'm just saying, it's just how we look at things. Let's continue, Mr. Trump.
And remember, even if you were making the same thing as you were made, you were losing a fortune, because with food prices and with all of the prices of interest rates, which went so high, and you can't get money, but with interest rates, housing costs, rent costs, all of the different costs, you're talking about 30, 40, and even 50%, depending on what items you want to use. And people were making, if you're making the same amount of money, even if you made more, you're way behind the eight ball. And people that actually, somebody said, gee, I've been treated nicely, I got wage increases, but I'm losing a fortune compared to when Trump was running things. We had almost no inflation, and they had inflation of a number, the real number, if you really get into the real number, it's probably 40 or 50% when you add things up, when you don't just put in the numbers that they want to hear. Look at just the cost of energy. I'm going to save the auto industry. Instead, we're going to be building all cars, not just electric cars. It's ridiculous. They don't go far. And they're fine. Some people might want them. And we're going to rebuild Detroit. We're going to get the car companies. Under Biden, you're not going to have any more car business. And whoever Sean Fain is, he's the head of the union. I can tell you, the United Auto Workers are voting for Trump. This guy went along with this ridiculous concept of switching over to all electric cars. They're all going to be made in China. They're very expensive, and they don't go far. They don't go far. So we're going to end that on day one. We're going to end that mandate. And if you want an electric car, you'll absolutely get it. But you'll get gasoline, and you'll get hybrids. You'll get whatever it is, and we'll make sure that it's done.
Hey, just to recap, this is Trump speaking at a black church in Detroit. He's there with, as we saw, what's his name? Byron Donalds is there. A few of his other friends are there. But they invited him out. He's sitting down. He's telling everybody what's going on. He's going to answer questions. And could you imagine? Just let me ask you this: could you imagine Joe Biden doing this? Could you imagine Joe Biden doing this for 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes? Could you imagine Joe Biden doing this for 15 minutes? That's all I'm saying. So if he can't do this for 15 minutes, how the heck can he sit across from other dignitaries, other world leaders and negotiate? How can he do it? I don't see how he can do it. Like they're going to have somebody that's making all decisions, whispering into his ear, acting as if he's participating in the conversation and they are making all decisions. That's exactly what's happening right now. We have an administration that's making all of the decisions without the president's involvement. That to me is an issue because you are the man, bro. You are the most powerful man in the world, but you need somebody to hold your hand and walk you off the stage. That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me. Please, if you can make it make sense, I'm reading your comments. I would love for you to make it make sense for me.
We're going to seal the border and we're going to stop the invasion of your jobs and the invasion of our country. It's an invasion of your jobs. They are taking away your jobs when they pour in. And it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. They're taking away your jobs. We'll bring back public safety and defend our communities for law-abiding American citizens. We need, look, the crime is most rampant right here and in African-American communities. And more people see me and they say, sir, we want protection. We want police to protect us. We don't want to get robbed and mugged and beat up or killed because we want to walk across the street to buy a loaf of bread. They want it so badly. The fake news doesn't talk about it.
Hey, van.hall.
But the black population wants law enforcement more than any other population. So I think it's an important thing to say.
And that is the absolute truth. Like you will automatically believe that black people don't want police in their neighborhoods. That's BS. Just want good police. That's it. We want police in our neighborhood, a police presence, so that when my children are outside playing or when my vehicle is outside, it's not being broken into, and my children don't have to play around potential gunshots just flying all over the place or fights just breaking out, or my children can't walk to and fro without being accosted for their jacket, their shoes, their whatever they have on by somebody who feel like they ain't got to work for theirs. They can just take it from my children. Nah. Stop thinking that black people have an issue with police. We don't. We have an issue with bad police. That's it. Because as soon as we are victimized, trust me, if we can't get you back ourselves, we're calling the police. And we might do it on a low, so we won't be looked at as a snitch or anything like that, but we definitely want the police on our side. Whoever said that black people don't care about the police or don't want the police in their communities, they're lying. Miss Thing hit us with another super chat. Thank you so much. Two-headed snake, aka two-headed president. B-Man isn't running the country, my friends. Biden isn't running the country, my friends, at all. And we already know that. We think, okay, let me know. Put 100 inside of the chat if you believe that Obama still has a hand in running this administration. I really want to know from you all. Please let me know in the chat if you think Obama still has a hand. And I'm talking about seriously. I mean, not even playing games. Seriously. Big Blue 100, Lisa Marie 100, Tammy 100, Mama Bear 100, Elizabeth 100, Jonathan 100, Angela 100, Diana 100, Torres 100, everybody 100. My gracious, y'all like, yeah. And what's next? What's next? Y'all like, you think you asking a tough question? No, 100. We do think it. Yes. Yes. Next. What's your question next? Y'all was so fast answering it. Y'all are something else, man. Y'all didn't even have to take the time to think about it, huh? Everybody like, yeah, 100. Absolutely. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. He's running it right now. And he has been running it for a while. Wow, Nancy is the real VP. Wow. Somebody asked me yesterday, do you think Kamala Harris will make a good president? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, fresh to the bone, or anybody else that's hit me up with the word coach, reach out to me at the real LFR family at gmail.com, because van.hall at LFR family has been compromised for the moment, and I'm trying to fix that issue. So here's the new email address. It's not new. I've been using this one, just haven't been sending you guys to this one. But shout out to everybody who has been reaching out to me with the word coach. If you're trying to start a YouTube channel, start one today. All right, set that bad boy up today. And if you don't want to show your face on the channel, don't show your face on the channel. But also stop being so daggone insecure about how you look and how you sound. You are beautiful, all right? You are. You are yourself. You that image that's in the mirror, you need to love on that image. Love on it, because the world is already going to be mean enough. So look at yourself in the mirror and start loving yourself more, please. Start loving yourself. And these generations that's behind us, because I'm 46 years old, and I know for a fact that these young men that's behind me and these young women who are up and coming in their 20s, they need to hear the wisdom from us. They need to. Trust me, they need it. They're already addicted to their phones, and they're addicted to their computers and whatnot. Well, if you're going to cut on your phone and want to watch some entertainment, watch me entertain you and tell you what you need to do so you can be a better human being when you grow up, so you can know how to raise your children, so you're not just giving people your goodies all willy-nilly and not considering what type of parent they will be if y'all were to cohabitate. So, because it's just so much we need to reach out to these youngers about, man. I'm serious about that part right there. Thank y'all so much for participating with 100. But yeah, so based off of what the chat has said, they believe that Barack Obama is still playing a huge part in today's presidency. And I believe my people. So, hey, if they say it, I'm with it.
And I'll keep the radical left-wing gender ideology away from our youth. Gender ideology. Wow. You know, it's an amazing thing. Every time I say that, it gets that kind of an audience. From all groups, from all communities. It's incredible how that continues. Like, I will keep men out of women's sports. People say... That's another thing.
Congratulations to Bag Lady 68. She says she lost 60 pounds. Wow. Hey, congratulations. That is huge. Congratulations. And you should feel good. Amen. That's what's up. That's what's up. That should inspire somebody to stay away from all them daggone sugars. Stay away from it. And if anybody out there want to know, I got a secret for anybody trying to lose some weight. Stay away from anything white. Not white people. I'm talking about white bread, sugar, those type of things. Anything white, leave it off your plate. Even rice. Leave it off your plate. Leave it off your drinks. All of that. And that will help you out. You ain't got to go outside every day and do 100 jumping jacks, but it will help all of us if we were a bit more active. This is why we need a platform so we can constantly tell people what we need to do as a unit so we can be better, man. We got to be better ourselves so that when we come together, we're like a transformer, like superpowers are just combining. That's what we need to consider.
Well, just to step it up.
Potatoes.
We will close the borders. They will be closed tight like they were, and only people will come into our country. They have to come in legally.
He said 2 billion Chinese would disagree. Let me tell you something. Chinese people don't only eat white rice. They are very healthy eaters. They eat a lot of vegetables as well. And a lot of the food that they sell us from their restaurants, they are not eating. When the last time y'all went inside of a Chinese restaurant and you seen them eating what they serve us? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I never seen it ever in my life. So, you know what I mean? You make a great point, but they aren't eating what we eat. They're not at all. Okay.
And we'll also support, which is very important for your community, universal school choice. It's so important. So with all of that, I want to just say that it's Carlos and everybody, it's been an honor to be here. It's an incredible place. I have a lot of friends here, and we're going to do things. We're going to bring back the auto industry. The best thing we can do is bring back the auto industry. If you look at what Biden's done, you know, we got rid of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and we did the USMCA, that's Mexico, Canada, the best trade deal they say ever made in this country. Actually, the trade deal I made with China was just as good or better, but I don't talk about it because of the COVID, what they brought upon, the China virus. Has anyone ever heard of the China virus? We want to be as accurate as possible. But we made great trade deals, but USMCA gave us something that was very special. And if you look right now, they're building massive auto plants in Mexico, and they think they're going to build automobiles, and they're going to send them into our country and get rid of all your jobs in Michigan and get rid of all your jobs all over the country, your auto jobs. They're building the biggest auto plants anywhere in the world right now in Mexico, fairly close to the border. And let me tell you, those cars aren't coming into this country unless they pay a massive tariff, because we want those plants built in our country, not in that country. We're going to bring back the auto industry to Michigan. We're bringing it back to Michigan. We're going to bring back the auto, and I can tell you from our senator, we will work on that together, but we're going to bring back the auto country. It's going to be called Auto Country again, because you've lost over the years, you've lost more than 50% of the automobile making capacity. And I think the number is even much higher than that. It used to be the only place, and now it's almost, it didn't go down with me, by the way. We did very well. We kept them out with tariffs and other things, but we're going to do something that's going to really bring back massive auto manufacturing to the state of Michigan, and we're going to create jobs like you've never seen. And I just want to thank everybody, and Pastor, I want to thank you. This is a nice church, by the way, very nice. I'll come here some Sunday with you, okay? I'll listen to a real sermon, right? I'm going to enjoy that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, what's about to happen is he's about to answer a couple of questions, but what's important is he tapped into the community. They told him when he first came there that Biden never came to the hood and spoke to us. Obama never came to the hood and spoke to us. The fact that you're here, we appreciate it. So thank you very much. And what left-leaning media has done, they went into this event and literally started counting the black heads. How many black people are in there? Let me see how many black people. Let me tell you something. Counting the black people is not what's important. See, that's the thing right there. They're fooling black people now into counting the black people, because if everybody else is here, then you must belong here too. No, that's not the case. Just because 90% of black people are voting for Democrats does not mean a Democratic Party is the party for black people. That's not the case. But if you're not willing to think past that or look beyond that, then you automatically assume that. And that's unfortunate, because anyone else you talk to, they'll be like, what is he talking about? All the black people support the Democrats, so we must belong here. That's not the case, man. And I need for black people to get away from that, bro. Like they literally counted the heads of the black people and was like, those are the same black people that follow him everywhere. We saw him at the last rally. We saw him in New York. We saw him in Tennessee. We saw him in Michigan. Like, come on, bro.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Mr. President, look
Thank you.
right there. Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, look at him right there.
Thank you.
You see him? You see him?
Oh, is he a good-looking guy? Look at him. Wow, he's a beauty.
Well, Mr. President,
Thank you very much,
we have a lot of great community leaders here. Again, thank everybody for being here. I want to turn to Itasha Dotson. Itasha, tell us about your story and what's going on here. You're a mother, you're a grandmother.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on in Detroit.
I have a convenience store on the east side of Detroit. I didn't go there with the idea, but it was in a store in my neighborhood, the neighborhood that my store is. So I just decided to do something for the community there and put something there that can be in use. I just purchased me a building that I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that. Some towards the community. I like to give back to the community. I love the things that you talk about, Trump. I believe that I know you're a stand-up man, and I know you're going to do what you say you're going to do. And I'm rooting for you.
Hey, shout out to the grandma. That's shout out to the hot grandma with the neck tattoo and the baby hairs. That's got the little swoosh baby hairs. She got that baby hair toothbrush at home where she put that swoop on the side, like you put that gel on it, make sure that the baby hairs are on point, knowing good and well that she ain't got. Well, she looked like she still pull off the baby hairs, but she got a lot of baby hairs though. But shout out to her, man. Shout out to Itasha Dotson.
Thank you. Good job.
So I want to move real quickly. So, Carlos, you're a veteran of our military. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You served and you worked in the postal service for 30 years, and you're also a boxing coach. 24 years. I might need to learn something from you.
Come on down.
All right.
Yes,
so, tell us how you're viewing our country right now, and do you have a question for the president?
Yes, I look at how Joe Biden became the president and allowed Afghanistan to collapse and allowed our soldiers to die it angers me. And we had a president who loved our soldiers, and we need to put our president back in office. And I just want to know, President Trump, please don't allow our soldiers to walk around wearing red high-heel shoes.
Shots fired. Shots fired. He said, please don't let our soldiers walk around wearing red high heel shoes. Shots fired. And he wasn't trying to be funny. He is concerned about his country. When we go up against these other countries that have been training their guys since the age of 5 years old to kill, they've been training their children since the age of 5 years old to wield a gun, to wield a weapon, to clean guns, and to have all this this activity of fighting. And we are like, we're becoming mushy, man. We're becoming so soft. We're allowing anything to happen because of social credit score, because of what may or may not hurt somebody's feelings, man. Shout out to this brother right here. Much love to him, man. He is preaching. He even got the people up on their feet. Look at the people on the right here, right above my, right up here. They are on their feet clapping for that brother, man. Up on the stage. That's crazy.
Thank you, Carlos. He does have a point. You know, one thing I'll say, as Carlos knows better than anybody, we defeated ISIS 100%. They told me it would take 5 years. They told me it would take 5 years, and we did it literally in 5 weeks. We did it quickly. And I will tell you, our soldiers, other than the people on the top that you see on television, and some of them are really just weak and pathetic and bad, the way they got out of Afghanistan, getting out was fine. We were going to get out with dignity and strength. We weren't going to leave people behind, and we weren't going to leave equipment behind. 85, think of it, $85 billion worth of brand new equipment we left, and they're one of the largest sellers right now of military equipment in the world. They left 70,000 trucks, many of them armor-plated, 700,000 rifles. I don't know why we had so much equipment over there, but they had it, they bought it, and we left it. Brand new stuff, goggles, night goggles where they can see perfectly, so now the Taliban can fight at night. But you know that, we left it over there. I will say, though, we defeated the ISIS caliphate, and our soldiers are real soldiers. They're not going woke. Nobody's going to talk them into going woke. Those guys did their job.
Now, here's the thing, though. So you have Midas Touch. Shout out to that brother over there for the content you're doing, but it's clearly lies, some of the stuff that he's putting out there in the airwaves. If y'all know him, you can tell him I said it is what it is. But he's putting out there that Trump can't form a clear thought. He can't form a sentence. And once he forms it, he can't communicate it properly without being all over the place. What I just now heard was extremely clear. And he kept it in the same frame of the conversation that was going on. He did not deter. He did not jump into his own lane of thought. He kept it in the same lane of the conversation. So why are people doing this, man? It's not the same. Stop comparing Trump's intellectual ability with Joe Biden's. It's not even close. It's not even close because they are trying to do it. Roland Martin do it every single day. Dave Pacman do it every single day. And now Midas Touch is doing it every day as well. Because these people know how to push the needle in their favor. They know who they have on their, who their community are. Their community want to see blood, so they give it to them. And they're doing nothing but lying. They're picking apart certain parts of the conversation where he might have said something that went off the rails, but he came back because he liked to tell a story in between making his points. And this one right here, he told a story and came right back, and he stayed on it the entire time. But they keep on trying to paint a picture for the people who are not intelligent enough to check them out themselves. They only want somebody to report to them what's going on. Watch out for those channels who only want others to report to them what's going on, because they know that their fan base, they know that their subscribership are not going to go and do their own due diligence. They know it. So they feed them whatever they want to feed them, knowing that their channels will continue to blow up. And that's trash, bro. It's irresponsible as a content creator. That's all I'm saying. Because what I just now heard was extremely clear. And if what you heard wasn't clear, please let me know. Please let me know.
And you're so right. Thank you, Carlos.
No, thank you so much, Carlos. Mr. President, we have a couple people who have been doing their work in business, restaurants. We have an executive chef with us. Now, he says his steak is excellent. And apparently a bunch of the staff, when they've been here in Detroit, has eaten at his restaurant, and they all come back with rave reviews. But Omar, tell us about all the work you've done here in Detroit, how you came up in Detroit, and then whatever question you have for the president, please.
Absolutely.
And before Omar goes forward, I want to say, Ms. Thang, I saw what you said about being too mouthy and you'll give everybody the business. You'll be naming everybody. You'll be pointing everybody out. No, I say if you're too mouthy, you are the type of person that needs to have a channel. You are the type of person that need to have a platform. You are the person. 1000%. If you're already too mouthy, if you already know a great deal about politics, if you already have an opinion that's rooted in facts, not just your emotions, you are definitely the person to have your own channel. So start it today. And if you need some help, hit me up and I'll help you out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Detroit, for supporting us. President Trump, welcome to Detroit.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Omar. Great.
I'm excited to be here with you today, President Trump. I'm a restaurateur and executive chef at Table No. 2 Restaurant, downtown Detroit. We are on our way of being a Michelin star restaurant with the help of God and yourself. I'm successful now, but I started out born and raised on the east side of Detroit in an urban community. I give credit to the urban community because without them, it would never have been me. I grew up teaching young kids to push, dream big, work hard. I want our kids today to be dreamers, bigger, so they can achieve more like I did, and even more. What will your administration do to ensure young children are given the opportunities and challenges to keep growing? That's my question, but I also want to point out publicly on record that when you were in office, Mr. President Trump, the African American community, the Latino community, the Arabic community, we all soared. The money was pumping when you were in office. As a restaurant operator, I'm telling you that the money was pumping. And the money's not pumping now, and we need to get back to that because it's ruining our economy.
Right. Well, as you know better than anybody, Omar, the money was not a problem 4 years ago. The banks were lending, and they were lending at very low rates, and now you can't get money at 10 and 11 and 12%. You can't get any money, especially for a small business. It's almost impossible. We're going to save our country. The most important thing we have to save. When you see Russian ships floating essentially off the coast of Miami, I mean, if you think off the coast of Florida, how did that happen? And the fake news, look at all of them back there. The fake news doesn't even want to talk about it because it makes Biden. Putin would not be doing that if I were president. And I had a very good relationship, but I had a tough relationship. You know, I ended the pipeline going all over Europe, the Russian pipeline called Nord Stream 2. He wouldn't be doing it. And I will tell you, the most important thing we have to do, we have to save our country because our country is in trouble. We have a chance, a real chance at World War III. And, you know, we have less than 5 months now. Actual voting starts in North Carolina. If you take a look, that's going to be on the 6th of September. 22nd of September is Pennsylvania. So it's not even November 5th, which will go down as the most important day, most important election, but the most important day in the history of our country. It's going to. Two things. I'm going to stop at your restaurant the next time, and you're going to give me the greatest lunch you've ever served, because I heard you do great steak.
Thank you.
So we'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay. And the other thing, tell your waiters and waitresses and anybody else getting tips, because there are a lot of people get tips, car attendants and caddies, and a lot of different people get tips. We are not going to tax tips. The tax immediately is coming off because, as you know, the government under Biden just passed new regulations to really go after these people, and they're at a level like nobody's ever seen. It's like jail time stuff.
Absolutely.
To go after your waiters and your waitresses and other people getting tips. So anybody getting tips, because there are certain tip industries. The car business has a lot of tipping going on. We are not going to be taxing tips. It's going to end immediately. So thank you, Omar. Great job. We'll see you at your restaurant.
I'm sorry?
We'll see you at the restaurant.
Absolutely. I'll be there waiting.
Thank you, Omar.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to have to join you, Omar. I'm going to have to come for that dinner. Listen, when you get a good meal, you got to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm looking for.
You're coming with me.
I'm waiting for the money to be pumping too, god dang it. And Sko, thank you so much for the super chat, man. And Miss Thing, welcome as a mod. she didn't even ask. She didn't even ask to be a mod, but a couple of people were saying, look, mod her, man, specifically Brandon. And also, I want to say this. I just want to ask y'all this. And I know I'm not going to see any hundreds inside of the chat for this right here, but please put 100 in the chat if you believe that that Biden could set in a format like this, answer questions, and make his case by himself for 30 minutes. Please let me know if you believe that Biden could do this. Thumbs down if you don't think he can do it. That's probably not nice. That's probably not nice, but just put -0. Hell no, never. Y'all petty, man. Y'all petty. Y'all petty, bro. Y'all are petty. They don't believe. And here's the thing. Nobody wants to make fun of Biden. People want to believe in our president, man. We want to think that we still, we the most powerful and we're still the best. We want to know this. We want to believe it. And we also want to believe that if it goes down, if there is an actual war that comes from anything that we're doing between us and another country, we want to make sure that we're going to be good, that we're going to come out on the winning end, period. Because we want to be safe and we want our children's children and neighbors and friends and coworkers and everyone just to be safe, man. That's it. That's it. Once you cross that border, it's all about the U.S. And you should have a president that always put the country first, that always put Americans first. That's it. The money should go to Americans first. The aid should go to Americans first. Shelter should go to Americans first. Food should go to Americans first. We can go on and on and on. Jobs should go to Americans first. Come on now. We know this already, but right now, that's not the case, man. It just isn't.
So I'm going to go down to the end of the table. Now, Mr. President, this gentleman at the end of the table, look at that hat. That hat is phenomenal. I was talking about it earlier before I came out.
Looks good.
Thank you. Looks good. So Mario has, and I don't want to take away your story, brother, but Mario has done tremendous things in rebuilding his life. And I want Mario to talk about all the things he's done, he's been through, and whatever question he has for you.
Okay. Well, first, just to say I'm happy to be here. I wouldn't be anywhere else today.
Thank you.
And Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. I know I said it once before, but we do have some other people who were here, who weren't here when we very first started the chat. And also, if you have not hit the like button yet, that's my only price of admission for my live streams. Hit the like button. And if you're feeling extra generous, just hit that share button that's below, copy that link and put it on Facebook, X, and just come on back. Reddit, LinkedIn, you ain't even got to leave to do that. You can just go ahead and just put them bad boys inside of your Facebook group or inside of a Facebook group to let them know that we in here.
I had some issues early in my life, young black man in the city. I got incarcerated, and it just so happened to be under the Joe Biden's 1994
right.
crime bill.
That's right.
I'd like to thank you for working on the First Step Act that reversed that.
Hold up. The First Step Act actually reversed the crime bill. So a lot of people who were negatively impacted by the crime bill were released. The charges was dropped. They get their time back. What exactly happened? That's phenomenal, by the way.
Anyway, I turned my life around right now. I have 6 children, and I worry about their future. Democrats are attacking our kids right now. What will you do to protect our children and their future?
Well, we're going to get your children jobs. We're going to make it possible for them to work. We're going to stop illegals from coming in because your biggest threat are the illegals taking the jobs. We have threats as to security, too, because, again, so many of them come from prisons and jails, from mental institutions, and even insane asylums. That's a step above, that's many steps above mental institutions. And we're not going to allow this to happen. And the first community, and this is open knowledge, that's being affected and affected very badly is the black community because they're taking your jobs. And we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally. They have to be vetted, and they have to come in legally. So I think that's the biggest single thing that we can do in terms of the future, because you see already what's happening where your wages are down, it's going down, it's going to get very bad. I think it's going to get very bad.
Shout out to Samoa.
We have to close up the border, we have to stop, and we have to, we want people to come in, but we want them to come in legally, and they have to come in through a legal process. It's so unfair to our country, but I think that's the biggest thing we can do.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Steve.
Mr. President, talking about children, we have somebody with us, Valerie Parker. Valerie has been fighting for the children here in Detroit. She runs after-school programs. She runs weekend programs. And when I met her off to the side, and the first words out of her mouth, I had a flashback to when I was a kid. I said, I knew a Valerie Parker when I was a young kid, and she straightened me out and had me being focused on what is necessary to be successful in life. But Valerie's with us, and I heard also she's a fan, like a big one.
Thank you, Valerie.
I'm gonna say it because I don't want her to get in trouble. What she said to me backstage was that Melania is in trouble. She better watch out. That's what she told me. That's what she told me, I promise.
Don't forget, we're still in church. We're still in church now. We're still in church.
We're in church. I apologize, Pastor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Valerie, tell us about your story. Tell us what you're doing here in Detroit, and then whatever question you have for President Trump.
Thank you, Mr. President, for coming to the hood. Thank you so much. I was born and raised in Detroit. Forced to be a Democrat and take their Section 8 and all that stuff, and you couldn't get no higher education. Had me pop up all them babies to get some more checks. They didn't tell me I was stuck with the kids for 18 years. They didn't tell me that part. Oh, wow. You know, and so, but what my concern is right now, I'm doing an after-school program. My kids are in trouble, especially African Americans, as you say. And when I go to these schools, I go to schools where the African American girls don't even have a doors on their bathrooms. But when I go to the immigrants who speak no English, right, they got the best food, the best bathroom, got people teach the second language right next to them. I went to school last week and we was talking STEM. So I asked them, I said, how many immigrants? They raised their hand. Do you know the hour they kicked me out? I'm not allowed to ask immigrants. I'm a free citizen. What's up with that? I got a problem with that. I'm tired of these black Democrats stealing these black kids' money, talking about what you ain't doing. I know they stealing. I went over, I'm in Brightmoor, been over there since 2005, spending my own money. So this recently, I went to a Democrat who I've been knowing since I was 8 years old. He do barbershop. I said, can you give me a cup of comment, how much you charge to get the kids $5 haircuts? He told me, call Trump. So then I called Ann Clark. Ann Clark got on her business, Wayne County Community for Public. We doing June 22nd. They doing some stuff, and I'm here talking to you. So I'm gonna go tell him, I say, you told me to tell Trump, and I told Trump on you. Yeah, all you Democrats, y'all ain't doing right by these kids.
Thank you. Thank you. No wonder I see you on television so much and you do so well, but that's something. It is, you know, you mentioned Section 8, and I built Section 8 housing. I built quite a bit of it, and I did it initially with my father, and we were successful at it, but it was crazy because essentially there was no rent. You paid no rent, and people would come up to us and say, you know, I don't have to live for free, but if you could help me, it would be good. I say, the program is you pay nothing or you pay everything. There was nothing in between, right? And people were saying, I don't want to do that. I mean, I want to help. And they end up taking it, they lived literally for nothing. The problem was there was no money left out for anybody else. So people that wanted subsidized housing, they wanted housing to help their family and to live and everything else, they couldn't get the housing. The Section 8 program, it was a crazy program. People were saying, I want to pay something. And a lot of people came up to me. They said, because I knew it very well. I knew that program very well. And they wanted to pay something. They couldn't do it. You got it for almost nothing. And but there was nothing left over for a lot of other people. It was a crazy program, actually. Really a crazy government program. Ben Carson would know that better than anybody because he had to live with it. But but that's, your story is an amazing story, and thank you, Valerie, very much. Appreciate it.
Now, Mr. President, we do have to go to the man of the house. This is his church. Pastor Sewell, the floor is yours. Please share whatever you would like to share, because basically, you know, tomorrow you're going to do that anyway. So, you know, go ahead and share now.
President Trump, I'm so humbled that you would be here. President Obama never came to the hood, so to speak, right? President Joe Biden, he went to the big NAACP dinner, but he never came to the hood. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor.
Very humble.
Really nice. Thank you. My honor.
Our community is disenfranchised, we're marginalized, we're pushed aside. And there are two things that are happening with crime and employment. You're an entrepreneur. How do you see funding entrepreneurs, specifically keeping the black dollar in the black community? Let me explain. If I want to eat, I have to give my money to the Albanians at Coney Island. If you want to get gas, you need to go to the Chaldeans. If you want to have your hair look like mine, you got to go to Asians. And I thank God for Asians. My wife is right there. She's Asian. Our children are Blasian. So I give it up to my Asian brothers and sisters. But we don't keep the black dollar in the black community. You're an entrepreneur. What does it look like for black entrepreneurs to be able to get the resources they need so we don't look for a handout, but a hand up?
And you know, and we talk about this, you have a lot of dollars in the black community and they don't keep it. I think one of the biggest problems that I see is the crime. They have to stop the crime. If they stop the crime, you're going to see more and more stores sprout. And we're losing them in other communities too, where there's crime. You see empty stores, you see them all over. They see big stores they moved in 10 years ago. They spent millions of dollars to build it and now they're leaving. And these are not necessarily black communities. In many cases, they're not at all. But where there's crime, there's empty stores and you don't keep the money. So I think the biggest thing we can do is stop the crime. We're going to stop the crime. We have to let people feel free and be able to walk outside and not even think about being mugged or hit or shot or anything. And, you know, one of the examples, I see the love in this church. It's incredible what you've done. You've done an incredible job. I would like to ask if you could final out with a prayer. Is that okay? I don't want to get you by surprise here because this was not, but I've heard so much about you and so many great things, and it's such an honor to be here. It's such an incredible honor. And with so many of my friends that are political leaders that are really going places, and he is on the list, by the way, and I don't know if he's going to make it, but he's on a list of a few people, right? Not too many people. Would you like to be VP? Huh? I think he would. Hey, one thing, it'd be a good one too, but I'd love to ask you to finish off with a prayer. Does that make sense?
I would love to pray.
Thank you very much.
Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the 45th President of the United States of America. He was charged with 34 felonies. Then he raised $53 million in 24 hours. And he has the potential to be the 47th President of the United States of America. You have protected him from things seen and unseen. You have protected his family. We pray for his wife, his children. Father, we ask that late in the midnight hour that you would speak to him. We pray that you might visit him with wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of you.
Amen.
We ask that even when he deals with complex problems, that you might give him the ability to hear your still small voice.
Amen.
And Father, we ask that you might lift his hands up so that our country perhaps would be great again. And we believe specifically for Black America that you would make Black America great again. Because Lord, we realize we haven't always been this way. So we pray that righteousness would begin to roll like water and justice like a mighty stream.
Amen.
And we thank you that you're able to do it because we believe that there are promises that you have through this president. And we believe that you would do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ask, think, or imagine in his life and in our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Come on, put your hands together and give our great God great glory.
Amen, amen, amen. In Jesus' name.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
Is it bad now to say in Jesus' name? Because it kind of feel like it is sometimes. I mean, depending on where you are, because we already know that nowadays people are getting fired for saying in Jesus' name. People are getting fired for saying that God is king. People are getting fired for that. People are getting fired for in a place where we have freedom of religion. How is that possible? It makes absolutely no sense to me, but whatever the case may be, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praises will continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord, and the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his holy name together. I'm thankful that he gave that prayer, and I'm appreciative that Trump saw. See, this is what a leader does. This is what a leader does. A leader see that prayer needs to happen right now. This is where prayer needs to happen. And since this is your house, Pastor, if you wouldn't mind giving a prayer right now so that we can all come together in God's spirit. Listen, he gave an amazing prayer. So shout out to all of you guys, man. Amen, amen, amen. I appreciate that. That's my thing right there.
I heard he was good. I didn't know he was that good. Thank you, Pastor, very much. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much.
Amen.
Happy Father's
Amen.
Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Okay, they're singing happy birthday to Trump right now because it's his birthday. His birthday was when the 16th? Was it the 16th or the 15th? When was his birthday? I'm sure y'all know. It was the 16th. No, it was the 14th. It was the 15th. It's the 15th. June 15th was his birthday, I believe. Feel free to correct me in the comments, man. Yeah, that was awesome. That was absolutely amazing, bro. Yeah, that's what it's about right there. All right, so now let's go into the figureheads who are just lying and flying. They just want everybody to believe that. Hold on one second. I'm gonna show y'all this, and this is just the type of things that they want to do, man. They just want to make Trump look like he is such a bad dude, like he's not impactful, like he's not doing what he's supposed to do as the president. And hold on, where is it at? Lies Trump told black voters are what did he say? He disrespected the black city. Hold on one second. Where is this bad boy at? I saw it, brother. Yeah, you can't hide it now, bro. See, this is the thing. Miss Thing, get you a channel. Get you a thing and get you a channel. Be as outspoken as you possibly want to be, because the people need to hear you. They definitely need to hear you, for real, because they're protecting Biden as much as they possibly can. They're trying to make sure that this dude is handled with kitty gloves. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure he is only handled with kitty gloves, that only some people can hear him speak. And if he's speaking too much, then they're going to try to save him and get him up off the daggone stage so that he's not embarrassing himself. So shout out to all of you guys for being here with me today. Hold on one second. Helped off. Hold on one second. Oh, 1 second. Here we go. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. And they raised $30 million, though. They definitely raised $30 million. The people came together. And they raised a lot of money, because we already know that the liberals are going to come together, that Hollywood's going to come together, and they're going to make sure that they protect this dude as much as possible. But just in case y'all did not see this, I need to show this to y'all, because our president, who's supposed to be the most powerful man in the world right now, he's supposed to be, and I want him to be. Nobody living in America right now wants Joe Biden to be weak. Nobody. We want him to be able to handle business when it comes down to it. But that's not the case, bro. And I don't know why they trying to act like it's something that's not. Come on now. Watch this.
Footage that emerged early on from the event, including the bizarre spectacle of the U.S. president wandering off after a skydiving display and having to be wrangled back into line by his counterparts, other world leaders, was bizarre enough. And this led to amazed commentary from around the world, as well as this fantastic New York Post front page, Meander in Chief. That's him, folks. And then there was this uncomfortable moment when the president went in for an intimate forehead-to-forehead moment with the Holy Father, Pope Francis. As our good friends at the Babylon Bee joked, Biden disappointed after huge scoop of vanilla ice cream turns out to be Pope Francis. Tough luck, sir. Better luck next time. But this is, though, all joking aside, serious stuff, or as the president would say, not a joke.
People find that hilarious. I don't find that funny. I don't. I'm being serious, man. Feel free to laugh all you want. That's cool. I don't, man. That's our president, man. And he's not fit to be the president. And they are putting him up to be the next president again for another 4 years. Are you kidding me? It don't look like he's capable of doing this for another 4 months. And we're trying to make him do this for another 4 years. And then when anyone from the right says something about him and how, he wanders off and how he's not paying attention. He's not cognizant at all. And they're trying to act like the Republicans are making fun of him. No, it's the left who should be charged with elderly abuse for what they are doing to this dude, man. Like, I get it. He's still there. He's still walking. He's still talking. So I guess that means that anybody who's walking and talking is capable of running the country. That's not the case. And I don't even know why we try to act like it's anything other than what it is. It's just not the case. It's not, man. And we need to do something about it. By doing something about it, that simply means voting. Simply means making your voices heard out there around the country, around the world, man. If you don't already have a situation where you can do that, you need to start yourself a channel, either on YouTube, IG, wherever you want to start your channel, but get your voice out there. Start getting the reps. Start getting the practice. Start getting the practice. I know you probably don't feel like this is what you do. You probably feel like, no, I'm good in the comment section. I'm great right here as a commenter. As a supporter of other people who do this. And you know very well, keep it a buck. Most content creators, we do well by presenting the comment that you all go out there and find for us because you're locked in already. Think about it. A lot of people reach out to me and give me content all the time. Shout out to Lisa Marie. Shout out to Angel. Like, there's a lot of people who reach out to me and always giving me content to check out. Do I usually check them out while I'm live streaming? Probably not, but I do check them out, and it gives it sharpens me up. It at least most times they catch it before I catch it, because you guys appreciate politics a little more than I do. I don't trust politicians at all. I don't trust politicians. So when it comes to politics, I'm trying to get more into it, and I don't want to use that as an excuse that because I don't like politics, I stay away from because I don't like politicians, I stay away from politics. Nah, that's not the case anymore. I'm locked in a little bit more now because I realize the responsibility. I have to have some understanding of what's going on around the world and the country. And I can't sit here and just communicate about something that I have no knowledge about. So I'm trying to get you guys to do the same thing, because y'all are awesome individuals. And if you hit me up, I've seen some of you guys put the word coach inside of the stream. If you're still here, send me a message at therealLFRFamily@gmail.com. Van.hall at LFRFamily.com has been compromised just for a moment. I'm going to fix that, but reach out to me at therealLFRFamily@gmail.com. It's going across the screen right now. And thank you, Kat. What's going on, Catalia? Thank you so much. I got this from one of my coaching clients who's kicking butt himself. He's doing a damn good job. Shout out to him. Shout out to Big Jeff. Yeah, he's dope. He dope. He does Al-Anon coaching. He does Al-Anon meetings. He talked to people about how to properly care for family members and friends who suffered from alcohol and drug abuse, and who still need that same level of support, and how to go about it. So yeah, he's on point. He's definitely on point. So there have been a bunch of other things that I would like to cover with you guys, but I'm not going to go through it. I mean, I'm not going to go through it right now, but I do see a conversation that I would like to cover with you all. It's the No Fugazi podcast. Shout out to them over there. This is a different style of content. I'm sure you guys probably don't want this, but it seems fun to me. So let's check it out. Y'all let me know what you know, because he gets into real good debates all the time. And shout out to them. This is from No Fugazi. And y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. And hopefully you enjoy this and participate. If you have something to say, that's cool.
Appreciate it. I only have one slight disagreement. I agree with 99% of what you say, but I used to think like you on the whole tricking and simping thing until I got a little older. And I started thinking like, maybe we need to rethink this as black men, you know? And I'll give you 2 reasons why, 2 big reasons, okay?
Sure.
One reason is that when you look at prostitution, which tricking is.
And here's the thing. The guy with the beard, that's Cooley. He's telling all other men to stop paying for sex. That's all he's saying. He's saying stop paying for sex. The guy on the screen is saying we've been paying for sex for a long time, so I'm still going to pay for it. Okay, here we go.
It's arbitrary when you really think about it, in my opinion, right? You know, you pay either way. If you get with a girl, she's with you for a small part because of her financial status. So, you know, women, when they get with you, in the back of their mind, they're always debating how much money you're going to make in the future. Can you support her? That's prostitution too. So why are we getting on these guys that are more upfront about it and not getting on us when we take girls on dates, we court women, we buy fancy cars so they can see our earning potential? It's all prostitution. Even marriage has been called soft prostitution. I mean, if you're married and you lose your job, your wife's not going to stay with you for more than a couple months if you're not out there really trying to get, you know what I mean? So I'm very conflicted on that. I've never paid for it, but the older I get, I'm in a relationship now. I'm engaged. So, you know, this is just hypothetical. But let's say in the future, if I get divorced and I'm an older guy, you're going to lose your looks at some point. There's going to be ways you're going to lubricate the process. And I used to hang out with a bunch of rich dudes, a bunch of rich doctors and CEOs, and we used to basically drive them around. I used to be a student under them, long story. But I would see that some of the most respected men in society were doing this. And a lot of times they did it just for practicality reasons, so they wouldn't get a false rape accusation, because it's very dangerous for these men to be dealing
Since
with
we're
women.
on these platforms, let's try to shorten the verbiage as far as the R word. Let's say grape. As far as the P word, let's just say sex work.
Okay, S work and grape. A lot of the most respected men in society do this out of practicality. And I know you once mentioned it won't give you dignity, but I found that looking at how they interacted with these girls, it was actually very respectful. I think a girl respects you less when you're broke and you're just doing it off the strength of, you know what I mean? So that's all I got to say. Like,
all right, cool. Got a question for you. So, well, one, here's a statement. There are words, and words have meanings, and words that it's a definition to the word. So prostitution means a direct exchange of income for an exchange of the woman's sexuality. That's what that is. It's direct. It's a direct exchange. So here's a question. What's the difference between something that's indirect?
I think it's a matter of degree.
Okay. You said you think that's not answering my question, so I'll just speak. We have to be able to differentiate the two of things that are direct and indirect, right? Mm-hmm. We know that women are hypergamous, and we know that women are complex creatures when it comes to their attraction triggers. They're attracted to a multitude of things in a man. Attracted to his money, his finances, but it's not even the money and the finances, it's the characteristic traits that it takes to make the money and the finances, to make that money. But let alone it is, money as well, because money is security. Money brings more stability. So they're attracted to masculinity. They're attracted to A-type personalities normally, that is assertive and dominant men. So with that being said, we know that women are going to gravitate towards a guy that is more financially inept. That's just a fact. We know that even if the woman is, maybe being courted by multiple men, we know that she's going to be looking like, does he have his stuff together? He doesn't, right? But we also know that if you are a dork, but you got money, you're still a dork. Like, money doesn't make the man. There's more things important than money. And I think women innately know that as well. So even though women are hypergamous, most women don't actually prioritize their hypergamous nature. You know what they prioritize?
Yeah, I know
what do you think they prioritize? It's one word.
In my opinion, they prioritize the connection. They prioritize how attracted they are to you. They prioritize
I got you.
How they make them feel.
I got feelings. That's the word. Yeah. Women tend to prioritize how they feel rather than anything, definitely in 2024, right? Right. So we all know that since money doesn't make a man, if you're a dork and you can't convey yourself around a woman, you're not really going to have a woman isn't going to have a genuine desire for you. Right? I think that both men and women want to have something that's genuine. So when I say that you can't maintain your dignity and your self-respect if you're paying for a woman's sexuality, you just can't. Because how can you get the genuine and most feminine woman to submit to you naturally, right? And actually like you, rather than on the flip side, you paying a chick directly like, yeah, girl, let me go ahead and wax that tail. Well, she's not really going to submit to you and love you and care for you and nurture you and have any type of genuineness with you at all versus the girl that actually, you know, of course she's attracted to money as well, but she actually caught a vibe with you. She's actually like has feelings for you. It's more than just money. So I'm saying that if men, right, if men tend to pay for sex and not get it the natural way, because paying for sex isn't natural at all. If everyone did it, the world would be over. Relationships would end. So it's immoral. It's an immoral act. And how you can see morality is very simple. I'll land my plane in a quick second because it's going to correlate. Morality is like this. If everyone adopted certain characteristic traits, would it be good for society or bad for society? That's how you measure morality.
Well, my 2 pennies is this. Paying for sex is bad. Okay. I don't care if we're courting someone, taking them out to dinner, purchasing them flowers, candy, whatever the case may be. That is not paying for sex. Any man who look at that as paying for sex, you're lame. You're lame, and you're not a man at all. To keep it a buck. Also, when we pay for sex, we need to also consider this. We are lending our act of paying for sex toward the sex trade, sex trafficking. All of that is only popular because people feel it's okay to pay for it. They was like, okay, I'm going to pay for sex. I'm going to pay for the person. You go out there and get them no matter what it costs, and I will pay for it. Simple and plain. And when people start thinking like that, that level of debauchery cannot be dialed back unless you tap into your spiritual side and understand that it's just bad, it's dark, it's lending itself to trafficking, it's limiting itself. I mean, it's lending itself to kidnapping, to women being in clubs and stripping and showing off their bodies for $1. And I'm not hating on the strippers or nothing. Do what you gotta do, but I'm just not with it. I'm just not with it. Like every single time I went to a strip club, I felt like I was in the belly of the beast. Like I was in just a dark, nasty place. And I get it. These young ladies feel like, okay, the only thing I have to offer right now is my sex appeal. And I'm going to get up there and I do what I got to do. Nobody can touch me. So it's still little levels to this. But I look at all that as trash, in my opinion. So, but feel free to let me know what y'all want me to know.
So if all men and all women adopted what you're saying, that we should just be out there, men should be paying for box and women should be doing sex work, it wouldn't be bad. It would be bad for society. So that means that it's an immoral act. If some people did it, it maybe won't be bad for the entire society, but we still know that it's still immoral because it would be bad if everyone did it. Make sense? So this is how you measure. Yeah, that's how you measure morality. So since we know that the moral thing to do is for a man to court a woman the natural way and actually get a woman to like him genuinely, right? That's the moral. Look, that's the moral way. So if it's the moral way, then obviously his dignity, he would have dignity and self-respect. But if he does it the immoral way, which you just agreed to, he can't maintain his dignity and respect. So the morality ties into dignity and self-respect. That's the end of the debate.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
Let me offer some counterpoints. And I agree with you on some level.
Okay.
I have mixed feelings about this.
Now, this brother is about to offer counterpoints as to why he feel like it's okay to pay for sex. Hey, this is the world we live in now. It just is what it is.
What I'm saying, one, these dudes, these high value, I hate using that word high value, these guys with higher incomes, they're not looking for dignity. They're not looking for dignity from some 25.
Thank you, James.
Right.
So real quick.
They have
Saying,
society.
I got you.
Thank you, James.
Look, real quick.
He said the guys who are paying for sex, they're not looking for dignity. They're not looking for morality. They're just looking for the act. Let me tell you something. What you're doing is you're victimizing somebody's daughter who's not capable of thinking that she is worth more than just what she's offering from her body. she's not worth more. So you're telling her exactly, you are right, and I will pay for that. You are an item, you are a product, you are a service, and I'm going to pray for that. I'm going to pay for that product. I'm going to pay for that service. And also, I want to say, James, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I really appreciate it, my man.
Saying that men aren't doing this is not an argument. The argument is, should men ought to do something versus should men not ought to do something. Now, we both agree, you agree with my moral claim that it will be immoral. Paying for sex is an immoral act because if everyone did it, it would be bad for society. So that means that it's immoral if one person does it. It's just like if you're gay. If everyone, real quick, let's just flip the example. If everyone was a homosexual, women was sleeping with women, men was sleeping with men, it's bad. We know it's an immoral act because we wouldn't be able to procreate. The world would be gone, right? So that's how you measure morality, right? And morality is tied into respect and to dignity. It's tied into there. But go ahead.
Here's the thing, Cooley. So check it out. How is modern marriage is essentially prostitution. The women. Let me explain why. Look at the ring. Wait.
All right.
The ring is expected to be 3 times your monthly salary. Now, when I was proposing to my woman, it's complicated. She didn't care about that, or so she says. I talked to my sister about that. She was like,
I want to interject, but I'm going to let him talk. I promise you, I think this is foolish right here. What's going on, River?
Look, every woman secretly cares about how nice the ring is. You know what I mean? So why, if marriage is not prostitution, why do you have to buy a ring that is somewhat decent? It's because on some level, marriage is prostitution. Women always consider the amount of money and what they're going to get from you. Now, we don't like to look at it as prostitution because we have such a bad connotation for what prostitution is, but your ability to provide financial resources is a huge reason a woman will be with you long term. Now, she won't be with you short term. Yeah, she doesn't care about that. But if she's going to think about long-term stability, best believe the car you drive, your career, all that stuff matters. That's prostitution, man.
Yeah, man. So like I said,
this dude is just ridiculous, man. This is what happens when you gain a little bit of success in life and you feel like what you, the way you live can be, what's the word I'm looking for? He said, because prostitution has a bad connotation to it. Bruh, it's prostitution. What's the positive connotation to prostitution, bro? And also, you're talking about society standards for marriage. Like you're supposed to pay for a ring that's supposed to be a certain percentage of the ring you're paying for is supposed to be a certain percentage of your salary. Bro, that's not morality. That's just rules that were set up by society. You don't have to. I can put a daggone rubber band on my wife's ring, on her ring finger, and we still have a loving marriage. We still have a loving relationship. And this right here, he just continued to go back to society's norms, and that's just not right, man. I don't think it's proper. What's up, Asa guy? What's up, Santi?
You got to go back to what is marriage? Marriage is biblical, right? It just says marriage is 2 people being married under, a church, and it has nothing to do with a ring or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that.
There was dowries in biblical times too, so finances came into play.
A man being able to provide for that woman. It's God over man, man over woman, woman over children. Should a woman be protecting and providing for her child? Yes. Should a man be protecting and providing for his woman? Yes. Should God be protecting and providing for us every day we wake up in the morning? It's a blessing. Yes. Right? So that part of the dowry, that's just the natural order of things. Right. So as far as an actual ring, and we're talking about it has to be 3 times the man's salary or whatever, you stated, I get that. But that isn't the natural way. You could say that that's the modern way of how people would, be married. And it's degenerate currently right now anyway, even with the laws is degenerate. It doesn't benefit the man. It only benefits the woman. So that I get the point, but let's not move the goalposts. Let's bring it back to where we was bringing it. So your point, you're saying that, a woman, men paying for box, it isn't, he can still maintain his dignity and self-respect. Do you concede on that point with since is not moral, right? Then how can he maintain his dignity and respect? Do you concede on that?
I concede. I see what you mean by you saying it's not moral. I can concede on that.
Got it. So, okay. So since you concede on that, man, I would tell you influence creates thinking and thinking creates behavior. You have to be mindful of what you're speaking about and who you're influencing, right? So let me finish, right? You are coming on a stream and you saying that, well, it's okay for men to pay for box. You're trying to influence, we got thousands of people who's going to see this. So influence is the most powerful force besides, physicality. Mental influence is the most powerful force. And what we speak creates thinking, and that creates behavior in ourselves and in other people as well. So I would just recommend that, man, we don't want to influence people to do anything that's immoral.
No, I'm not trying to influence. I'm just saying that I'm just offering a different perspective. Because trust me, I used to think like that when I was here. But here's the thing, man. Would you concede that if a man lost his job, there's a timeline on how long the woman would stay with him?
Well, I can see that there's a timeline on how long the woman would stay with him. Yes, because women are hypergamous. That's in their nature, right? Now, would you concede that if a woman lost her vagina, that there's a timeline on how long he would stay with her?
100%.
Exactly. So I'm that's totally fine. But that doesn't prove any point that men should be paying for box. That just proves the point that women are hypergamous and men are, men prioritize the sexuality in women.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Southern Fried Prepper. It was the diamond industry that put that out there and made us want to spend 3 months of our salary on a daggone ring. And who gave into that? Our dumb tails. We gave into that. Whatever we decide to do, we give it power. And we decided to give that power. We decided to let our country tell us what dates we need to be going out there purchasing gifts for. We can name those offhand. Birthdays, made up holidays, Valentine's,
Mother's Day,
Christmas, Mother's Day, all this stuff. This was
sweetest day.
Exactly. It's like they made this up to keep the economy going. And it's unfortunate that our minds are made up of so much mush that we believe that this is the standard that's set. That's just stupidity. And the fact that your friends are out here paying for sex, and you're like, well, I get it, man. They not paying for the lady to give them, they paying for them to leave. And that sounds so cool. I mean, that's
exactly what I was gonna say.
But that's what they say, but it makes no sense. It's immoral because you're participating toward the most debaucherous form of business that there is. Well, one of them anyway, and there's a whole bunch of other legs to this.
But okay, and in this society that we have now, I was talking about this. I pity young men that have to date in this climate and the way things are, and the women that they have to deal with, and their mindset that they're so entrenched in. We don't need men, that they abuse the hell out of men. And don't even realize that they do it. But I could understand a guy that's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. If I can just get what I need for a time being when she leaves and I don't have to deal with the rest of it, I can understand a guy's right now. Myself, I was always a man of the hunt. Okay. Why pay for it when I can hunt it down for free? So,
but isn't that how you should be as a man? Like, that's how you should be as a man. Why should you feel like your pocketbook should be able to just go out there and buy it? It's unfortunate that women give into it, but we know that that's the game now. A wealthy man usually, and this is unfortunate, but a wealthy man usually have the most sought after woman in the room. He has the most beautiful woman in the room. And that's unfortunate, but that's because we give into this. Because there's some guys, I know some guys who don't look like what society says most handsome, but they got a bad woman and they not even rich. It's because they are standing on just what being a man is, and their woman is not picking them out simply because she wants some money or she wants that security because she she can provide for herself. But it's just so much, man. I don't know. I got an
What
issue with
is?
this guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, I came in the middle of this.
This
but,
guy is saying that he's saying that paying for sex is immoral, and this other guy in the blue shirt is saying no, it's not. That's just what it is.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know because
what do you mean you don't
pay
know?
for because we pay for it one way or another. Okay.
Okay. So
One
you
way or
sound just
another.
like him. All right. So
But
explain that.
I'll explain it this way. Especially because the only thing that gets unconditional love in this world are women, children, and dogs. Men are always conditional. If we don't provide, if we don't do a certain thing, if we don't look a certain way, if we don't have enough money or whatever, we are always conditional, except for those women that really do appreciate men. But even in those situations, we are conditional, bottom line. And so to say that, how do I put this? To say that if I put if I put a value, like if for a woman to be with a man, he has to check off these things, correct? Okay, a woman's not gonna, just like he said, there's a timeline if you lose your job. Now, if she's a good woman, she's gonna encourage you and she's gonna pick you up and you're gonna get back out there and work. If you're a bum, yeah, there's a timeline, because if you're not trying to get work or trying to provide again, okay, she's not gonna stick around. And that's what I'm saying. Men, it's conditional. A woman can lose her job and a guy be like, all right, I'll take care of you. And she'll be fine with it. She'll be absolutely fine with it. And no one would bat an eye if a man says, oh, you go ahead and stay at home. Okay. But if a man says that, well, he's not worth it. He's not a man. And he's looked at by other men as not being worth anything.
All right, so what you're coming to all of your conclusions based off of how society acts and based off of how people think on average. We're not talking about what's right or what's wrong. We're talking about what people usually do. Hold on.
When it comes to adultery, of course it's wrong. It's all
I'm not
wrong.
talking about no. We're talking about morale. We're talking about moral or immoral. So regardless of a man will stay with a woman or a woman will stay with a man, or it's conditional and all this other stuff, that has nothing to do with moral or immoral. It's nothing to do. It's not even tied in.
No, when I say that we paid for it one way or another, as a husband, I'm paying for it, because if I don't provide those things, I don't get it. Go ahead and ask men. Do you ever get cut off?
You can ask me right now. Okay. I'm a man and I've been married for 26 years. But here's the thing. I never paid for it. I don't pay for it. I get because at a young age, I established what I'm willing to offer, and she established what she's offering. Because
do you ever do anything that makes her that look, she's just crazy, and the only thing that's gonna happen is I need to make her happy, and whatever, plug in X, Y, or Z. I need to make her happy. I don't really believe it. I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I know whatever, but I'm gonna make her happy. Why? Because if not, she gonna cut me off.
And again, go ahead, River. Go ahead, River.
I'm sorry, but marriage is a two-way street. Okay, there are duties and responsibilities that the man has, and there are duties and responsibilities that women have. And this guy in this blue shirt, I can't stand this. It's like this belly aching, this weak man attitude where, why should I be a real man? That is just so sad and pathetic. Yes, men need to be the providers. And then women, we take care of the house, we take care of the children, we both have our jobs that we do. And when you try to do all this modern, oh, well, I don't need to do this and I don't need to do that. And now you see, oh, now the divorce rate is through the roof. And now there's no one home with the kids, and the kids are being raised by teachers who are teaching them really weird things that nobody agrees with. We need to get back to the nuclear family. That is what is best for society. And no, it's nothing. Paying for women of the night is nothing like having a wife. First of all, when you look at these women of the night,
Hold on, Oscar.
when you get into these women of the night and you look at what happens to women that would even put them in positions to be that kind of person, it's only through horrible treatment, like the worst kind of treatment that usually starts when they are little children. That's what makes people think that that is okay. So so you are actually exploiting someone who has been hurt in the worst way by doing those things and paying for those things.
Wait, you're saying that every sex worker is not lazy and greedy? Okay, yet there's no sex worker at all that decides, you know what? It's the least that I have to do to make the most amount of money. Check out OnlyFans. Okay, those women are all capable, all able, all could do whatever job they want, and that's what they choose.
You know why they choose to do that? Hold on, this is why they choose to do it. Here's why they choose to do it. They choose to do that because there's weak ass men that's willing to be their customers. They won't. There's not. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. It's not. No. You can't have a product unless you have a person to buy it. You can't have a service unless you have a person to buy it. There is no OnlyFans unless there's some sucker dudes that's willing to pay for it. The only reason why they're willing to pay. No, hold on. The only reason why they're willing to pay for it is because they have an audience that's willing to. You can't get it by yourself. So the only way you can get your excitement is to cut on your computer and watch me pour milk on my feet. And I'm not going to do it unless you put $5 in my OnlyFans bank account. As soon as I hear that cha-ching, I'm gonna start pouring it, baby. I'm gonna start pouring it, and then the other dudes on the other side of the daggone screen. Are you telling me that the people on the other side of the screen are real men?
Here, listen. Let me ask you.
Yes or no? Hold on. Answer that. Get to that. Hold on. Are they real men on the other side paying for somebody on the other side of the screen for a service?
I don't understand what the question is. Are they real men?
A man that's paying an OnlyFans woman to do things, is that man a real man?
That's a confusing question for me.
Is he a punk? Is he a simp? Like, is he a high quality man? Is that a high value man that's paying for stuff?
That's a man that's not perfect.
The answer is no.
No. You can look. No. You can't tell me. Wait. You can't tell me that a man is less of a man if he if he's not perfect.
No, I didn't say nothing about perfect.
Because if I do everything,
I was very specific.
And then let me go back to your circular argument about prostitution, because it's like the same question: which came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, which came first, the man offering to pay for it? Wait. I was because I didn't want to forget that you were saying that it wouldn't happen if there wasn't a man willing to pay for it. But where do you know where it started? Did it start from a man saying, "Hey, I'm willing to pay for it," or did it start from a woman saying, "Hey, I'm willing to give it to you if you pay for it"? Which one came first?
It don't matter. It don't matter. If I'm outside and somebody, hold on. So you mean to tell me, so if this matters in this conversation, then it has to matter in the conversation with me and my wife. If I was to cheat on her, right? I'd be like, wait a minute. I didn't go out looking for it. She offered it. All I did was took it. It don't matter.
That is true. That is true.
So why you bring that to the conversation?
No. But saying that one side is more at fault than the other is ridiculous. The woman's side is just as much as fault, regardless of what her background was that led her to that place. The same thing with the man, whatever his background or moral background or lack thereof that led him to that place.
Hold on. The echo is bothering the people out there. No, it's not you. So hold on. Men are supposed to be leaders, first of all.
Yes.
So you can't put us on equal footing as they offered me the crack, and since they offered it to me, I had to buy it. No, you did not have to buy it. You did not have to buy the crack.
I know
You
that.
did not have to buy the vagina. You
We
did not have to
agree.
buy the
We
whatever the
agree.
services
We
was.
agree. What I'm saying is, we agree on that it is immoral. Okay, just like adultery is immoral, just like every other sexual deviation that the Bible says, okay,
Don't
is
all lives
immoral.
matter this.
Wait,
Stay
but see,
specific.
but
You're
what
trying to
I'm
all
saying,
lives matter this. Stay specific.
okay, what I was saying, all right, which I completely forgot. What I was saying.
It's okay because you're trying to take. I'm guessing that you've been a supporter of OnlyFans before. You've been a purchaser of prostitution before.
No, I don't know. Actually,
Okay.
never. Okay, like I said, I was always into the hunt. Okay, I was always after women that you supposedly couldn't get. Okay, so
All right, Lee.
I was just gonna say, and I mean, I don't know the data or the exact numbers, but it does seem like women who choose that as their source of income, not just OnlyFans, but I guess more like the women of the night, that there has been trauma, like really, really severe trauma as a child. I just watched an interview about it, how this little girl was adopted and she went from like family to family, and she was just completely abused as a child, and she really didn't know anything else other than to choose that way of living to make money. So I would say maybe there are women who choose that as a profession because they know they can make a lot of money online and not really have to get physical. Again, I don't know the stats, but I also think there are a lot of
see,
people.
and
Here's
I'm
the thing.
sorry, I would think that it's higher
That's not the
than the
conversation, though.
women.
That's not the conversation. The conversation isn't why women are selling their bodies. The conversation is why are men paying for it?
Because women are selling them.
No, because they're selling crack. We're going to buy that. Just see, that's the thing.
No. I don't buy crack because I know I shouldn't be buying crack.
But here's
You
the
know
thing:
what?
we're moving the goalposts. We're changing the conversation. The conversation isn't why a woman is so traumatized by her life that she decides to sell her body, or she decides to strip, or she decides to do those things. Why a woman decides to do it is why she decides to do it. Why a man decides to pay for it, that's the question. I
Spiritual
think that
weakness.
men who
because-
pay
yes.
for it are lesser men. I think men who pay for it are lesser, in my opinion.
But see,
agree
that's
with that.
the only problem I have with that statement is saying lesser because of the activity they're doing that's immoral. There's a lot of immoral activities
No,
we
that's not why I'm
do.
saying that.
No,
That's why you're saying it. That's not why I'm saying it.
But that's what that statement says. That statement says that, oh, well, you're less of a man because you fall victim to this particular sin, not that particular sin. And I'm sorry, that's parsing sin. And as, according to God,
I'm
all
not
sin is
parsing. I'm
equal.
not parsing sin. Don't all lives matter? This is specific about men purchasing sex. It's specific
wrong.
about men
Okay.
purchasing sex. And the fact that this guy that's on the screen is trying to speak up about it because most of his friends, and him included, when they go on their trips to Dubai or you name the fancy destination trip, you go to these trips with these exotic looking women with hair down to their ankles, and you don't see that in the hood where you're from. And you're like, man, I'm not going to be here before a weekend. I'm going to go ahead and pay this $70 for her to do something strange for some change.
$70.
And yeah, but
Dubai?
whatever, 70, 40, 50, 200, 300, whatever the case may be. But the fact still remains that if a man has to pay for it, if a man decides to pay for it, then he himself is immoral.
Yes, and we agree on that. But it's also if he has an affair and doesn't pay a dime, he's immoral. If he If he got drunk at a frat party and hooked up with a college girl, he's immoral. It's all immorality. It
Um,
all is.
we're
It's
talking
just
about
that
something specific.
I can't say that, oh well, this guy is not a man because he cheated on his wife.
I can say that.
But well,
Yeah, River would say that.
well, what I mean, see, this is what it goes back to again. If we don't check all the boxes, because then you can also say, well, if the man
But
is not
that
providing
extends
for his
the
wife,
conversation past. But here's
he's
the
less
thing:
of a man.
when you have
The
30
man
minutes to have a
doesn't do this.
conversation, when you have 30 minutes to have a conversation, and you talk about specifics, and you start bringing in all these other things, what you do is you stretch that 30-minute conversation to an hour and a half, and the main objective has not been covered because we decide to introduce that, introduce this, introduce that, introduce this, and we never got to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Lee J?
Don't you think there's so much anonymity? Like you can go online, you can do all these things. Like you know who the OnlyFans girls are, but you don't know who her clients are. I mean, just like how if you go to Dubai, you meet someone from another country, there's this little voice in your head that says, no one's going to find out back at home. You know, I can.
Okay, all right. So I mean that I understand that 1,000%. But my thing is this: just because nobody knows that you're a scumbag, it does not mean that you're not a scumbag.
I
You're still
agree
a
with you.
scumbag.
I 1,000% agree with you. But you know, again, the question was, why do men do this? It's
Yeah.
like, well, if there is, you know, if the opportunity is there are some people that will take the opportunity, and those moments, you know, kind of show, I don't know, like our shadow, like the
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
the same thing as
It
when they put out like money on a table, and people come by. Those who are inclined to take that are going to remember like the show Bait Car. Okay, the car is sitting out there running, door open, and there's a ton of people that walk by that don't do anything. But the person that is inclined to do that sort of thing, they will take advantage of the opportunity. The same thing with a man paying for prostitution.
It's,
Okay, it's the
listen,
man that's inclined to do it.
here's the,
Okay, not
this
just. I mean, if someone came up to me, I'm not inclined to do it, so I don't care. It'd be like supermodel for $10. No.
sex trafficking makes more money right now than the drug trade. So, with that said, sex trafficking, which has had people being kidnapped, killed, taken to all these different places, taking taking their passports when they're going on trips, and you can't get it back unless you're working. This right here all happens because of scumbag men willing to pay for sex. If
Yes,
men
but
were
can
pay,
you be
but,
forced into it?
hold on, hold
Can
on,
you
hold
be
on.
forced into the paying side of it? Can you
You
be forced into it?
You cannot be forced to pay for it. So the men who actually decide to pay for it are scumbags. They're next
Yes.
level. But women can be forced, and men also are being forced to serve as the new modern age slaves. And it wouldn't be if it wasn't a product or a service that was highly sought after, there wouldn't be no trafficking. It
That
wouldn't
just
be
says
no
that there's a
trafficking.
lot of scumbag men.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what this conversation is all about.
Well, of course, there's a lot
It's
of
not a,
scumbag men.
but here's the
There's a
thing.
lot of scumbag everybody.
But that's the thing. No, don't all lives matter. We're trying to talk about this specific. So listen,
I'm not gonna let you pin this all on men.
but
Okay,
why
I'm not
not?
gonna
Why are
let
we
you
so
pin it on.
protective of men
No,
who decide to go
because
out there and
men
pay for
are
sex?
because the real men are the ones that are protective of everybody else.
I'm sorry?
Okay, and then we get. I said, real men are protective of the world. They're the ones that are going out there and trying to protect society. I'm sorry, this is about those cops that go out there every day and risk their lives. There are men that are out there that are risking their lives for the infrastructure that keeps us alive and
These
going. There
cops,
are
these cops
men.
and military guys are paying for sex too. When they go to Korea, they're paying for sex too. When they're going
Well,
to China, they're paying for sex too. When they go to
and
all
then
these different countries to serve, they're paying for sex too.
okay, but what I'm saying is that men we get. I'm sorry, we get hammered on. we get hammered on in every single different direction. And if we're not perfect, we get hammered on even more. I'm not saying that that guy that's paying for sex is the most immoral person on earth.
I didn't.
But I'm not forgiving him either. I'm not saying that, hey, no, you're okay. You know, you're just as bad as the adulterer. No. I'm not giving him a walk. I'm not giving him a pass. He is awful. As a matter of fact, he is very awful because yes, he perpetuates that sex slave trade.
I didn't say that he's awful. I just said that it's immoral. That's it. Like
The
a man,
action,
the
the
man, a
thing.
man, no man. I will put it to you like this, just to keep it a buck. No man should pay for sex favors. Period. Because a real man will get it for free from a real woman. Period. That's just where I stand. That's where I stand.
I agree.
No man should be paying for it because it should only happen in the bounds of a covenantal relationship.
Exactly.
I'm glad you used that word covenant because I was just explaining that to my neighbors. The difference between covenant and contract.
But that's the thing. River introduced that to the conversation, but some people just automatically just throw it out because it seems to be wrapped up in religion only, and that's not the case. Like it should be like a relationship. It should be a friendship. It should be a courtship. It should be some trust there. It should be people should understand that when you have sex with somebody, you're transferring spirits. Like you're transferring all many other things than just that act. Like when a man gets up and that dollar is on the table and he's gone, who knows if that woman is going to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Well, that's why God designed sex to be only within the boundaries of a covenant lifelong relationship. We have, in the last 70 years, we have turned sex into a recreational activity that it was never designed to be. It was never designed to be a recreational activity that you share with the general public. It was one man and one woman for life. That's why it says, and the two shall become one flesh.
Yep.
When you have sex with a woman, you are becoming one flesh with her. Whether
But
you
that
want
didn't
to or
happen
not.
just in the last couple of years. That happened in the last couple of thousand years. I mean, harems were really popular back in the day. Okay, they're not
That's true.
popular now.
I'm not saying it didn't exist back then, but in the last 70 years, we have turned it into this cultural recreational activity.
Porn has like
It's something you
prevalent
go do to
porn.
have fun,
You
and
know,
it has no
once it hit
it
the
has no
movie
consequences
theaters,
outside of
yes.
that.
Yeah, once it hit the
Leash,
movie theaters, yes, because what was the other ways that people got porn before that? It was through pictures, which magazines made that prevalent, but it was porn was restricted until photography. Okay, you can have porn drawings and stuff, but it wasn't widely spread.
here's the
Porn is
thing.
what really
When we make up, I'm sorry, Lige was trying to say something.
I was just gonna say one of your I saw in the chat someone or Miss Thang wrote, men pay for it because they've lost morality. When you let go of God, you let go of morality.
Mm.
And I 1000%
That's
agree with
good.
that. Like the Bible is littered with examples of when people deny God, you know, when they no longer when they don't have a relationship with God, they will turn away from God and they will choose something else like that's desirous and sinful.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Honestly, if we could come together and have conversations of what's tearing us apart and making us worse as a society and as a people, then maybe we can make some corrections. But when we have individuals who like to take up for these people who constantly participate in just the thought process of it all, we end up having parades. I'm not going to say whose parades, but we end up having parades where grown men are butt naked on bikes, and there are kids who are also riding naked with their parents because their parents have already made up in their mind that what was once debaucherous is normal, and we need to make it normal, no matter if it's at the behest of my children. as if my children's innocence is out the building, we don't care. We need to make this debaucherous act normal by any means necessary. And now we have a whole administration supporting it, and we have the first Black president in the world making it an actual month so we can do it more, celebrate it more. I don't get it. It's constantly going in the wrong direction, is what I'm saying.
But it's supposed to do that.
It's supposed to go in the wrong direction?
That's what the last days is supposed to be like. Right is wrong, wrong is right. We are living in the upside down. We just have to accept that that's what's happening around us. It's just like the frog in the pot. Okay, it's slowly getting turned up on us, and we're not really realizing it. But it's about to boil. Okay,
but we shouldn't go along with it either. We should
No.
try to stand up
we should be
against
trying to get out of the pot.
Yeah.
Not with people who are constantly taking up for the people who are in the pot and saying, well, the people in the pot got to be in the pot because they're going to be in the pot regardless, and all this other stuff, man. It's ridiculous. Big Blue.
Nobody knows if it's really the end times. Like don't fall back on that and use that as an excuse to do nothing and just say, oh, well, this was destined to be. No, we have to fight.
Oh, no. I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm just saying recognize it for what it is. Okay. We are in the upside down. Okay. When you can look out on the street on Pride, okay, and see the evolution. Like I saw the evolution of the Pride Parade from Greenwich Village in New York City, where it was the only place that they were having a parade, to worldwide now, and seeing the levels that it changed, because there wasn't nudity, there wasn't all the debauchery and everything that we see now. It has progressed, and it's taken 30 years, 40 years, but it has progressed. How come everybody looking at me like that?
I don't know why this example popped.
Because you double talking. That's why you're double talking. That's why we looking at you right now. You're double talking.
All right.
I don't know if this is the greatest example, but it popped into my head. Remember when Dave Chappelle said no to all that money?
Yeah.
And
50 million.
Everyone thought he was insane.
Yes.
Like that to me is what a real man does. Like you say no to the really hard thing. And no one is saying it's easy. No one is saying it's easy. I've said yes to a lot of things that I wish I could take back. But I think it's in striving to become that person. Like that fight, the battle within. It seems like the battle is like men with women that are seducing them. I don't believe that is the real battle. The real battle is us giving in to our desires and our wants. I have my own that I struggle with.
Look, as a man that had to understand that he needed Jesus Christ, okay, that's the only thing that I'm saying, is that I'm not forgetting what my brain or what I thought like before coming to Christ and even after coming to Christ. I'm looking at those men and saying, yes, they need Jesus in their lives. Yes, they need morality in their lives, and they are the reason why. It's the person that's wants to take that particular drug is the person that's going to seek out and buy that particular drug. That bad man that's out there looking to pay for sex with not just women, but people he shouldn't be. Okay, he is the evil that we need to stop, but we also have to stop the people that are supplying it. You have to stop the supply as well.
No,
you can't just say all drug addicts are bad, but
You're
not
double
go after
speaking,
the
brother.
drug
You're
thing.
double speaking. You're double speaking.
I don't know. Well,
Because that's not what you were saying
What
at
the hell
first.
am I doing here? Kick me out.
What you were saying at first was not that they're not all bad people. What you were saying was
I'm saying that there's no
what you were
sin
saying was if they can't buy it if it's not being sold. And they have a right to buy it because we're already
No,
paying
I
for it.
never said they
You
had a
said no.
right.
You said that we're paying for it regardless in our relationships. We're paying for it regardless in our marriages. You are making up
Not literal.
excuses.
Okay, I apologize then. I
Don't
apologize because I did not want to come off like that. I said it. I said, yeah, we pay for it, as in, I have to be a man. I have to be a provider. I have to be those things. So yeah, I'm paying for it, but not. I'm going to do that anyway because that's who I am. All right. It was kind of tongue in cheek, but what I am saying is this. Unfortunately, it's the oldest profession because someone decided to go into that profession. Okay, someone decided to go into that profession and started that snowball. Now,
Where do you stand
that
on it?
doesn't mean
Where do
that
you
doesn't
stand
mean
on it?
that I think it should be ended. I think there
Okay.
shouldn't be any prostitution. I don't think women should be
No,
allowed to,
you
or anybody
don't.
should be.
That's not what you
I
were
don't think.
saying.
No, I am saying that it is. It
Now
is
you are.
immoral. No, I'm saying. Look, I'm double speaking. Why you keep talking to me if I'm double speaking?
Because you keep on talking. You keep on talking. Like I'm responding. Like you're the only person. River, what you think, River?
You're right, and Asagai's wrong. Yeah, I've been here
Okay,
from the
well.
beginning, and yeah, you're saying one thing, and then you're kind of pivoting and saying something else, and it's.
Okay. Maybe
And it's
my
okay.
liberal side is coming out.
But it's quite all right.
Oh Lord, it's been June too long.
Here's the thing, man. I don't jump on men for doing those type of things, but here's the thing. I will tell you, like any guy, that you don't have to pay for it. Like the coolest guys be like, I'm not paying for it. I'm just paying for her to leave. I ain't got to deal with the relationship. I ain't got to deal with the her arguing. I ain't got to deal with her emotions. I ain't got to deal with none of that. I get whatever I want, and I'm about my business. I'm going to do whatever. Yeah, if that's what you're teaching, I would never teach that to my sons. And if I won't teach it to my sons and I won't teach it to my daughters, then I'm not going to speak publicly about it being a good thing. It's that simple to me. Is that cut and dry? Is God wanted to be that way? Absolutely, but that's not my position. My position is as a man who is raising up young men and women, and will I teach them this? And the answer is no. I won't support this. I would teach them exactly what I'm saying right now.
I think that's where I came off wrong. I was not supporting it. Okay, me saying that I was not. No. Okay,
What'd you
let
say,
me
Chris?
be unequivocal.
Hold on, 1 second, 1 second, Oscar. What'd you say, Chris?
Both sides of the equation are morally indefensible from a Judeo-Christian perspective. So if we're going at it from that perspective, both sides of the equation are morally indefensible. You are absolutely responsible as a man for the choices you make. If you choose to look at porn, if you choose to pay for sex, you are morally indefensible before a holy, righteous God. By the flip side, the supply of it is equally as evil. And you're stuck in a situation which is very much like drug addiction. That's why I fully support there's an organization called Fight the New Drug, because they have done studies on the dopamine effects, on the addictive effects of pornography and everything on the human brain. And you've got people who are fully addicted to just the dopamine hit, but they can't actually get it with a real woman anymore because they have so programmed their body and their mind that it can only react in a certain situation in a certain way, and it's got to be 100% under their control, that you've got men with ED at the age of 25. And so you've got to deal with both sides of the equation. And it starts, you've got to deal with the supply side. I agree with Asagai, and it should be illegal. Absolutely. Pornography should be illegal. It's no longer a free speech issue for me. It's morally indefensible. But on the same side, there should be no anonymity. If you pay for sex with a woman and it is a crime for her to sell her body, then it is a crime for you to buy it.
Yep, I agree.
And you should be outed as the scumbag that you are. And that alone would put a dent in it right from the get-go. If I know when I get caught, I'm going to be outed in public, just like any other criminal, then guess what? There's that extra added layer of, do I really want to do this? And
Amen.
I mean, and it goes back to, bigger, more political questions like, why haven't we had Epstein's list released yet? Because we're keeping those people anonymous.
Preach it, Chris.
We're in power, and no one's going to ever let that list be made public. And it's part due to because of the politics of it, but it's partly due to the fact that we have defended men who have made this decision for generations, and it should not be so.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris. I'd kiss you, but no Diddy. Okay.
I'm with you.
He was just able to say what I guess I've been thinking, but not been able to say. Thank you.
He was able to introduce a part of the conversation that was not even asked for. Like, it's because right now we talk about obesity. Well, every single corner store is held liable and culpable for it. We talk about people being the internet right now. How many people can put their phone down for 2 days and not look at it? Nobody, because we're addicted to it. So what? Facebook is held liable for that. Instagram is held liable for that. I bet you can't. Who said they can do
I'm
it?
saying addicted to it.
Addicted. Like, you're not going to check your Instagram. You're not going to check your Facebook. You're not going to.
I check my comments all day long.
All day long.
The only thing that would be an issue for me is just checking my analytics. Right now, like, I could do it easily without if I didn't have to worry about my analytics.
But that's different. You can check your analytics and stuff. What you say, River?
I was going to say, I did the historical reenactment. So a lot of those things, the phones are banned, because it's they're not supposed to even exist. So if I go for a long event, like 2 weeks, I'll go a good week with no phone. Cause I'm out in the woods. There's no charger. When it dies, it dies. I just don't care. I go and I love it. I love not having my phone.
Amen. Y'all are anomalies. You know that, right? Because right now, if you look online or they've been asking people, most people cannot put their phones down for an hour unless they are forced to, like in their jobs. Like sometimes if you work for the federal government, they will have you lock your phone up and people will be like, oh my God, I got to lock my phone up. How can I check this? How can I check that? Because what's the fear of missing out? FOMO. They said it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So but here's the thing. Somebody was talking trash inside of the comment section. I want to address you for a minute. Where you go? Somebody was, and you had to be. I think y'all don't kick out the trolls. Was it Todd? Are you talking about us who are jealous we can't afford no box? You jealous? Crazy. He said we're just jealous we can't afford it. Are you speaking to us, or you just? Is he still here?
He's trolling. I gotta be a troll.
I love trolls, though. I love trolls. I love trolls because he said that we just jealous we can't afford it. But yeah, thank you everyone for pulling up. I appreciate it. And I'm talking to the chat. Big Craig, what's going on, brother? Happy Father's Day, man, and happy Father's Day to everybody here.
Oh yeah,
happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, man. Y'all are dope. Hopefully y'all celebrated and were celebrated.
Well, I'm going to be celebrated next week with my son. I'm taking him out and shooting him.
I'm sorry,
paintball.
Oh, that's a good thumbnail.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I shot my child for Father's Day.
That was good delivery.
Yeah, it was. It was very good timing, by the way. Shout out to all of my blues. Y'all are awesome. Miss Thing, welcome as a new mod. We appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you for suggesting her. And everybody who participated in the live stream, I appreciate you guys both on YouTube and on Twitch. And thank you again to everybody who submitted a super chat, because you already know my only cost of admission to my live streams is for you to hit the like button and potentially share it if you're feeling extra generous. So thank you guys. Y'all have an absolutely amazing day. And we're about to move on with the coaching. Love y'all, man. Y'all take it easy and love yourselves. All right. You're not ugly. You might be, but don't ever don't tell yourself you're ugly. Let the world do that.